When I watch sports, I watch TV 50, and the two hottest teams in Detroit, the Red Wings and the Pistons. WKBD, your place for sports.
First round Stanley Cup playoff action between the Detroit Red Wings and the Chicago Blackhawks is next on WKBD TV 50, your place for sports.
24 hours ago, the Red Wings set the tone in Game 1 of the first round of the playoffs. Peter Klima does a theft job supreme, and with extra effort put the Wings up 1-0. Before the first period ended, Dave Barr with a tremendous move, a strong balance act, and Detroit led 2-0. Happiness reigned supreme, but then Chicago's Dennis Savard had other ideas, his own stealing performance, and the Blackhawks were down by a goal in the third. But the Wings, they held on and won it by a score of 3-2 in game number 1. Tonight, live on TV 50 from Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, it's Game 2 of the best-of-7 series as the Detroit Red Wings versus the Chicago Blackhawks.
Red Wing Hockey, brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Eagle, makers of Premier, Medallion, and the all-new Summit. Only at your Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can expect the best. By Little Caesars, where you always get 2 great pizzas for 1 low price, with 200 Metro locations to serve you. By Trader Ray Tire and Tire Man Tire Centers. Nobody sells tires for less, and we pay your sales tax. And by Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ray Lane. And let's go back 24 hours ago when the Red Wings held on for that 3-2 victory. If you were with us then at the beginning of our program, we highlighted Dennis Savard and Steve Yzerman. And yes, they did not turn out to be the heroes, even though Savard did a goal. But it was a couple of hard checkers, hard workers, who sort of turned things around for the Red Wings. When we think about defense last night in front of Stefan, how about this? Only 8 shots taken by the Blackhawks in the last 28 minutes of that game. As a result, the Red Wings win it 3-2. With more on tonight's game, let's move upstairs to Dave Strader and Mickey Redmond.
Thank you very much, Ray. Indeed, we did talk about Yzerman and Savard being the keys. You talk about Yzerman, he doesn't get a point, but that was one of the keys, how effective Chicago would be. They were obviously very effective, Mick, but as we saw in a couple of games down the stretch, the so-called second line came through. Oates, Klima, and Barr accounted for all the scoring. And when you have this kind of talent, these 3 guys relaxing before the game, you really can't call them a number 2 line.
They're Curly, Larry, and Moe right there now, but I'll tell you one thing, they are not a second line. You can bet on that. And the players on the hockey club know that very well. That's the whole key to the hockey club right there. When you get 2 lines that can score effectively, like the Yzerman line and the Oates line, boy, it's a nightmare for an opposing coach and an opposing team. I don't think the Blackhawks last night went out of their way in a great way to cover Yzerman's line, but he can't score every night. Gallant can't score every night, and the other line picks it up. That's the name of the game. Tonight could be a complete reversal. The problem with the Hawks is, or for the Hawks, is that either one of them could do it, and they've got to be aware of that all the time.
Hawks coach Mike Keenan was not happy with the team's lack of physical play. They look to be more assertive, as the coach put it tonight. We'll have to wait and see. Game 2 of the North Division semifinals upcoming next year live on TV 50.
Bright star through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we once were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glow, red bombs bursting in
11-year-old Heather and 13-year-old Kirsten Ostrom from Seattle, Washington. Usher in another playoff game here at the Joe Louis Arena as we take a look at the officials working the game tonight. The veteran Andy Van Helleman will be the referee, along with the linesman Pat DePuzzo and Ron Finn. There you're looking at Ron Finn, the veteran linesman. And the starting goaltenders, the same two we had last night. Alain Chevrier in his NHL playoff debut played well last night, but took the loss. There you see his numbers with Chicago in the regular season, and the regular season numbers of Greg Steffen, as we mentioned last night, tying a career high with those 21 wins. A bit of an inflated goals against average, but nonetheless he was involved in a lot of high-scoring games, which the Red Wings won, and as Steffen said, that's the important stat. And of course last night the Wings, as Ray pointed out at the top of the telecast, played a much tighter checking system, and we look for more of the same tonight as we're underway here in the second game. Doug Huda to center ice, drives one into the corner, and the play immediately whistled offsides. Mick, it'll give us an opportunity right off the bat to get to the scratches, because there are a couple of changes in both lineups. Adam Graves and Randy McKay, two of the rookies, are out tonight. They are replaced by Chris King, another rookie, making his playoff debut, and Tim Higgins, who of course has been a contributor in the last two playoff years for the Red Wings, also sitting out tonight for the Wings, as they did last night. Krentz, Koser, and Sharples. For the Hawks, Keith Brown and Dan Vincelette, who played last night, are out. Greg Gilbert, the former New York Islander, and Everett Santapass is in. And the other players out are Brian Noonan, Mike Eagles, and Steve Thomas, as that first puck that was fired into the corner to the right of Chevrier has apparently cracked yet another piece of glass here at the Joe Louis Arena. We look at Mike Keenan. I mentioned, Mick, right at the top of the telecast that he was not happy about his team's performance in terms of being assertive, as he put it, in terms of being physical. He feels he's a firm believer in a forechecking system. It not only keeps the other team pinned into their own end, he also pointed out that obviously that creates scoring chances. He did not feel they created that, and they did not go to the net when they had the opportunity. Early in the first period, while they repair a piece of glass here at the Joe Louis Arena, we'll be back in a moment.
Back live at Joe Louis Arena, 10 seconds into the hockey game. We've got a broken piece of glass, a delay right out of the gate here. But to finish off on that thought, I think, Dave, that the Red Wings had an awful lot to do with that. During the regular season, the Wings had it taken to them in spots by the Blackhawks, and they allowed that to happen. Last night, they did not. It was something that was discussed by the hockey club Monday and Tuesday and game day yesterday, that they could not let the Hawks come in here, take it to them physically. And that doesn't mean fighting, just talking about good body work, finishing the check. They could not let them do that and expect to win this series. But the Red Wings did it themselves last night, as the basketball man is now switching to hockey now that the NCAA is over.
Let's hope that rubs off a little luck on that Red Wings jersey.
But you know, the Red Wings turned the tables on the Hawks last night. They knew they had to be physical with the Hawks, with the body, and they did that. Troy Murray, Basson, a few of the others tried to get it going for the Hawks early in the game. The Red Wings gave it back in doses of their own, and as a result, they dominated the game in that department. I don't think you're going to see a change in that with Probert gone from the Red Wings and Koster not in the lineup. Obviously, they're not loaded with the fighting people of that nature. And as I said, though, you don't have to fight. As long as you use that body physically, take people out of the play, finish your check, and take a check to make a play, that's the key. You can win hockey games in this league. They are finished with the glass down there. Andy Van Helleman now calling them to the center ice area where the puck was dumped in from. It was an offside, as Chris King had jumped ahead of the line on the dump in. And we're set to go.
Shabbat out there between Jim Nill, Chris King, Troy Murray, between Dirk Graham, the captain, on the right side, and Greg Gilbert wearing number 14, former Islander, on the left side. Here is King, backhands it into the Chicago zone. Back to get it is Manson. Plays it around the boards, held in at the right point, quickly sent back into the corner. Here's Shabbat. Tries to pull up and slap it in front. It was blocked by Doug Wilson. Now Norwood comes in from his left point position. Shabbat couldn't control it. Here's Doug Wilson. Plays it to center ice, looking for Dirk Graham. It's off his stick. Huda slaps it back the other way. Manson on the move, picks it up. He couldn't get it by Huda. And it's all the way out center ice for Chris King. He's on the move. Here comes Chevrier out of the net.
Look out.
King blocked it.
Look out.
A collision there.
Play's still going on.
Manson's down on top of
He wants
King.
to give it to King. See the play, the game's still on. There's not been a whistle. Dirk Graham with a two-handed cross-check. He got away with that. Stefan a save at the other end. Oh, we'll get to this in a minute. Whoa, what a collision and a penalty. Being called to Graham there. Wings for the goalie.
Chase on with a centering pass and a great save by Chevrier.
What a furious 30, 40 seconds.
Well, the Hawks went to protect their goaltender.
Well, watch King. He leaves his feet. He doesn't get a full piece of Chevrier, but just caught the right arm. And Manson, you'll see an answer for that check later on, I am sure. Manson wants to give it to King right there for jumping at Chevrier. And this is what Graham gets called for there. That on the weak side for a penalty call. But Graham really cross-checked King down at the other end after Manson was on top of King.
The last night in the post-game press conference following game one, Mike Keenan said, you know, we don't very often praise officials, but he said Paul Stewart, who refereed the game, and it was his first NHL playoff game, he said, I thought did an excellent job.
They love it. They love to play under those conditions. Just let them play and go.
Draw comes to Oates. Quick shot. Chevrier the save. McLean is dumped, and Chevrier will hang on. And Manson.
They got him in an ugly mood for the game, and they have to. He's a big, tough guy, but he doesn't use his toughness that often. He's a very passive guy. And, boy, they got to light a fire under him if they want to win hockey games. Big Dave Manson.
Last night, Mick, we went better than 30 minutes before we had a minor penalty. This time it took only a minute and 14 seconds. Manson, Mick, set a club record in the regular season.
18 goals. Went to the All-Star game. He's a good hockey player, but he's got to come to play every night. He does not up to now.
Here's Chason. There's a Hawk down, and the play continued. Troy Murray was down on all fours. And the crowd booing because they feel that Murray did it just to get the whistle, although the play continued, and it would have been interesting had that Chason shot beat Chevrier.
Well, that would have counted. But I'm surprised he blew the whistle even after that, because the rebound came right to McLean, and they continued to have possession. But Van Hellemond making that judgment, split-second judgment, as it could be a serious injury. Doesn't matter who's got it, he'll blow it.
He took a bit of a slash there from McLean.
Manson gives it away. Where is Murray? Can we see him? No, by this time he's down in front. That thing, you know, I don't know what that went off of. That seemed to go off the top of the trapper and almost hook behind his head. Very strange way. Troy Murray still down on the ice.
Just to finish that thought on Manson, he did set a club record, Mick, with 352 penalty minutes.
But he's not the kind of a guy that other players are afraid of, because he's not a mean kind of. You got to have that meanness in you to put fear into other players. He's a big, strong kid, and he can handle himself. Of course, you know, he's been nullified a couple of times in games with Detroit. Joe Kocur knocked him semi-unconscious in a game with a left-handed punch right here at Joe Louis Arena on a Saturday afternoon. The next night, the two of them came together. Kocur was right there, banged his stick a little bit, stole the puck, and scored the winning goal.
Troy Murray still down on the ice. This would be a big loss for the Hawks. He is a great two-way hockey player, a former Selke Award winner, as the best defensive forward. And he's going to go to the bench, but obviously under his own power. Still a minute 46 left in Dirk Graham's penalty.
Had to be wind. Sometimes when you lose your wind, boy, you can't get a breath, and it feels like you're dying right there in front of 20,000 people. When you get back to normal, it's like nothing ever happened, but boy, does it hurt for a while.
Yzerman will stay out there between Gallant and McLean, with Chason at the left point, Oates at the right point. The rookie Mike Hudson, who did a nice job against Yzerman on the faceoffs late in the game last night. Yzerman wins this. Chason lets the shot go and whipped it just wide of that post to the left of Chevrier. Here's Oates now to Chason. Lets the shot go, deflected, save, rebound, another stop by Chevrier on Gallant. And the Hawks clear, but the Wings getting the chances on this early power play. Detroit with the first 5 shots on goal. Here comes Paul McLean. Across the Chicago line, gives it to Yzerman. Back for McLean in front, and Gallant banned on a good one-time opportunity, and the Hawks clear. Denny Savard trying to get loose. He'll drop it back now to Manson. Manson from his own zone. Fires it back the other way. Oates has it. Moves it to Dave Barr, one of the heroes of last night's victory. He gets around Conroy. Now Larmer comes in to sweep the puck away. Larmer lost it to Gallant. Into the corner to Yzerman. Back for Gallant. Trying to move right in. Goes behind the net. Gets it out to Chason. Lets the shot go. And it was blocked in front. And here comes Savard. And it knocked off his stick. Wings recover. Gallant. Yzerman sends it to Oates. Back to Yzerman. Tried to lift it up high, and it didn't get over the top. And now the puck is under Savard. No whistle. Oh, and a hand pass. 30 seconds left in the Graham penalty.
Boy, Manson really crunched Yzerman on the lower side underneath our broadcast position here to the right of Chevrier. So they've obviously got him fired up. Chevrier, the key man of the moment here. 7 shots already by Detroit. 0 for the Hawks. Gallant with another pop at it. Yzerman had one from a bad angle. And Chason gets another one. He's had 2 or 3 already. Not sure if this one got through or not. It seemed to hit somebody in front. Couldn't tell what it hit there.
Face off to that man's left, Chevrier. Yzerman wins the draw back to O'Connell. Whips it over here for Norwood.
Outside.
Came outside the line. They blew it right away with 24 seconds left in Graham's penalty. All the teams were in action last night. They're back in action tonight for Game 2 of the various series. In the other Norris Division series, Brett Hall scoring at 11:55 of overtime as the Blues went up 1-0 on the North Stars. Bob Brook for the North Stars, who had only 7 goals in the regular season, scored a hat trick in a losing cause last night.
An interesting lineup. Klima's loose on the right, and they get it to him.
That's a set play. Here he comes. Takes it in behind the net. Tries to play it along the boards. Norwood has it there. Klima back for Yzerman. Behind the net, he was tripped. Got the puck to Barr. Barr plays it back for Yzerman. Yzerman looks for Klima. Klima sends it back to the line. Norwood lets a shot go deflected wide by Troy Murray, who's back out there. Penalty to Dirk Graham has expired. Here come the Hawks. Hudson across the line. Troy Murray bans on it. Now peels back as he still has control. Yzerman comes back to intercept the pass intended for Doug Wilson. So the Hawk penalty killers do the job mainly because of the work of Chevrier. Troy Murray's shot. Hawks finally get one on Steffen. Gilbert Delorme. Bumped by Graham. Loose puck taken by Zambo. Ahead now for Oates. Or rather, this is Higgins, number 20. His first shift of the series. Chevrier sweeps it to the corner. Everett Santa Pass has it there for Wilson. Doug Wilson sent it across, bad angle. Graham with an elbow on Zambo. Wilson trying to hold up Oates, who was looking to pick the pocket of Manson. Hawks able to clear. Center ice, this is Graham. Gives it off to Santa Pass, number 7. Back for Graham, quick shot wide of the net. Higgins plays it around. Bob Murray pinched in, but Delorme is there to take it away. Delorme now checked by Santa Pass. Zambo will try it out the other side. Higgins checked by Doug Wilson. He stepped on the puck, Higgins did. Delorme with a big hit there on Doug Wilson, and the Wings will clear.
Look at this. They converge on him. What a mess. He could put a blanket over 6 of them there a moment ago.
Zambo, he's hit by Basson, plays it around. Wings will clear the zone. Here comes Oates. Rink wide pass just out of the reach of Torrey Robertson. Now Nill with a hit on Presley. Robertson bumping into Creighton. Here they go. Nill and McGill. Robertson's over there as well. A penalty coming to the Wings, I believe. Burr and Yanni have a hold of each other. They fought in a game earlier here at Joe Louis Arena.
And McGill took a high stick. An errant one from somebody. Boys are squaring off early. We expected this to happen tonight. The Hawks are definitely hitting. Trying to pick up their tempo from last night. Nill is going to get the only penalty, I believe, for a high stick.
Basson and Huda still shoving. I don't know if McGill's going to get anything or not.
He wasn't from the original call. We'll have to wait and see as the boys hold a little powwow down there. Tempers are A flare and lots of time to go. 15:07 first period. Back after this. Back live at Joe Louis Arena. This thing kind of started out at the other end. Higgins stepping on the puck, and watch the blow delivered here by Delorme. Boom, clean check there. And I think we're going to have a 5-minute major in a game misconduct to Jim Nill for a high stick. Now he has gone to the Red Wing bench, standing there. And is he early to the showers or what? He's going down the hallway. And that would be a blow to the Red Wings. There was a stick up originally by Nill, and then an errant stick caught McGill in the pushing and shoving. Now McGill is in the box, and we'll have to wait and see. Van Helleman, the veteran, now telling the timekeeper what he wants called.
It is a 5-minute major up on the board for Jim Nill.
That's 5 in a game. Now see where it comes right here. There is a, wow, what a cross check by Nill. Did he ever give McGill a piece of that wood? I mean, he caught him good with it, and gets a 5-minute major. McGill gets 2 minutes, so that'll offset a bit of it. But I don't know if there was blood drawn on McGill or not. He's not gone to the Hawk room.
McGill gets 2 for slashing.
5 minutes for high sticking and a game misconduct.
Wow.
4 minutes and 53 seconds.
Well, he certainly let him eat. Bobby McGill didn't have supper tonight. He just had it. Certainly fed him the handle of that hockey stick.
Well, Van Helleman, if there wasn't a cut.
See, I'm wondering if you can hear the Red Wings complaining, and I'm wondering if they are under the impression that the 5-minute major in the game misconduct was called for the errant stick that caught McGill in the melee while they were all milling around. You can hear Burr yelling it was one of their sticks.
So 4 skaters aside for another couple of minutes. And then, barring, of course, any other penalties, and that's not safe to assume the way this game has started out, the Hawks would have a power play for 3 minutes. Here's a giveaway by the Hawks. Huda fires a shot deflected by Yzerman just wide. Manson has it now. Manson ahead to Dirk Graham. He's out there with Troy Murray and Doug Wilson, the 4 skaters for the Hawks. Graham's shot is blocked over the glass, out of play. The Wings going with Yzerman and Oates, the 2 centermen, along with Norwood and Huda. But now Demere's making a change, and Gallant will come out to replace Adam Oates.
Trying to figure that call out. If Van Helleman called him for the high stick in the melee, then he probably would have given him a 2-minute high sticking call to begin with and the 5-minute major. So I think he's called him for the direct cross check.
Yeah, I
up
do
into
too.
McGill. Now whether he drew blood or not, we'll have to wait and see.
I don't think he has to draw blood to get that call.
No,
it's automatic if he does.
Yeah.
Norwood back to get it now. Played just over 5 minutes, no score. Game number 2. Best of 7 series comes to Gerard Gallant now. Ahead for Yzerman. He's going to be more dangerous in this kind of situation. Rolls it up into the Chicago zone. Huda with a hit on Presley and then tackles him right in front of Van Helleman, who let it go. Yzerman nearly with a steal at the side of the Chicago net. It's recovered, though, by Manson. Wings communicating who's going to cover whom. Here's the pass ahead for Hudson. He's watched by Norwood. Hudson pulls up on the corner, sends it in front. Just missed Presley. Presley sends it back to the corner. Norwood picks it up there. In 50 seconds, McGill will be out to give the Hawks the man advantage. Yzerman away. Penalty shot fashion. He scores!
Well, Yzerman doesn't miss too many like that. The key play here was the center ice gamble by the Hawks defenseman. You won't see it on this replay. It's already happened. Yzerman right up underneath the bar. That's become his favorite spot this year in situations of that fashion. Who gambled at center? I think it was number 5, Conroy. He took the gamble on intercepting the pass. Yzerman took it just before Conroy got there and stepped around him and was penalty shot fashion from center ice on Chevrier.
Gallant and Norwood drawing the assist on Yzerman's first of the series and his 12th career playoff goal. And the Wings draw first blood.
Yeah, I better not say that was Conroy, because it might have been, but it also might have been Big Manson, too. They were both there.
Here's a steal by the Hawks. Nice drop pass for Yanni, but it was caught up in his skates. Chason plays it ahead. That was blocked by Manson. It comes back for Troy Murray. He is checked by Chason. McGill comes out of the box. 3 minutes left in the nil major penalty. Probably Paul McLean serving that, but I'm not sure. I can't see the back of the helmet. Here's the Hawks with a man advantage. Left point, it goes to Doug Wilson. Now to Manson. One times it saves. Steffen, and he covers up with Creighton jamming for a possible rebound.
Manson with the one-timer there from the point, set up by Dougie Wilson. Both those guys possess excellent shots from the blue line. Manson, number 3, and 24, Wilson. Now they take Manson off and replace him with the veteran Bobby Murray.
It's exactly what Demers talked about before the series started in fearing the Chicago power play, as you see their percentage during the regular season. And he talked exactly about that, the point shots of Manson and Wilson. Chabot wins the draw from Creighton. Zombo unable to play it around. Savard now along the boards. Checked by Barr. Helped out by Zombo. Held in, though, by Bob Murray. Sends it across. Doug Wilson fluttered it toward the net. Knocked down by Norwood. Good job, Wilson, there to hold it in. Zombo plays it around. Bob Murray again held it in. It comes back behind Steffen. Norwood, that took a strange hop right back toward the Detroit net. Aggressive play there by Zombo. Comes back to the point for Doug Wilson. Now here's Adam Creighton. In deep, they try to center it. Blocked by Norwood. Again, the Wings looking to take away that 2-on-1 play.
That's that favorite player there. Norwood did a good job there to eliminate it.
And now it deflects over the glass out of play. With 2:03 remaining. As you look at the veteran Lee Norwood, this is the 5th time he has appeared in the playoffs. He started his career in Quebec, played 3 playoff games with the Nordiques back in the early 80s. He made 1 playoff appearance with St. Louis under Jacques Demers the year they went to the Campbell Conference Finals and lost in the 7th game to Calgary. And then, of course, he's played the last 2 playoff years here in Detroit.
You know what's happening right now? Because of that fear of that power play, Dave Lewis is up here in the press box communicating to Colin Campbell behind the bench on the headset. And Jock a moment ago was right next to Colin, getting the word on what are they trying to do and what do we need to take away from them there? How are they planning it and playing it? And now Jock talking to the guys on the bench who are next up.
Here is Larmer along the boards. Creighton will go in deep. Larmer takes a look. He hits Creighton. Tries to bring it out in front. It squirted through, but Yzerman steals and clears it down the ice. Minute 45 left in the major penalty now to 0. Hawks started back the other way. Denny Savard, who had one of the 2 Chicago goals last night, across the line. Nice play to get it to Wilson. Now he slaps it in deep. Driven around the boards by Chason. Bob Murray holds it in. Chason again. Gets good wood on that one and clears it down the ice. Nearly a dangerous clearing pass there by Chevrier, but it's recovered by Dirk Graham. Graham through center ice. Looking around. Gets into the zone. Off for Presley now. Presley sends it around. Graham in the corner. Gets control at the rim of the circle. Takes a look. Scores! What a shot by Graham. He looked like he was going to pass it and ripped a wrist shot past Steffen to tie the game at 1.
That thing seemed to change directions, and whether it hit Steffen himself, it did that, I think, but it may have hit somebody in front as well. Let's have a look at it from a high angle. Mike O'Connell is there. See him look at Presley. Does it hit O'Connell? Hard to tell. It may have just grazed him, but it caught Steffen's right pad, the bottom of his right pad, and went into the middle of the net. He went right between the legs of Mike O'Connell, did Dirk Graham. Ties this game at 1, and still Jim Nill's penalty has to be served out, being a 5-minute major. There's 1:04 left.
That was the 5th career playoff goal for Dirk Graham, who's playing in his 21st postseason game. Reminder, you're watching Red Wing playoff action here on WKBD TV 50, your place for sports. Presley draws the only assist on the goal by Dirk Graham. And it's cleared out of there now by Norwood. 1-1 the score. Yzerman has scored on a breakaway for the Wings, while each team was a man short. Trent Yawney from the left point, knocked away by Burr. He won't get there ahead of Trent Yawney. Yawney flips it across for Manson. He loses it. Yzerman back across the line. Takes a look. Oh, he's in! Couldn't pull the trigger. Bounces it in front, and it's cleared away by Chevrier. Boy, that looked like nothing, and Yzerman made something out of it. Presley now. In front for Troy Murray. Hit the back of Norwood. Recovered by the Hawks. Savard. They get in tight. Step and a save. Presley now behind the net. Moves it to Bob Murray. 5 seconds left in the major penalty to nil. But the Hawks controlling it. Goes to Doug Wilson. Lets it go up high. Just over the net. Paul McLean out of the box. The Hawks still pressing. Savard rolls it in front. They score. Troy Murray got the stick on it. And although it's not a power play goal, it comes as a result of the pressure before Paul McLean can get back in the play. And for the first time in the series, the Hawks have a lead.
What a play by Savard. He took a look, saw Troy Murray over there. Shabbat had to get over there by him. Perfect pass right over top of Norwood's stick and onto the stick of Troy Murray, right on the goal line. And the Hawks lead it 2-1. Savard made a beautiful pass, got his head up, spotted his teammate Murray, and put it right off the tape, and he just had to steer it into the open net.
You know, Mick, you talk about what game is the most important game in a best-of-7 series, and they're all important once you get going, and each game becomes that much more important. But the second game is the first time that either club, obviously in this case Detroit, has a chance to go up 2-0 in a series. Detroit wins this game. The Hawks have to win 4 out of 5, including one in Detroit, to win the series. While, of course, if Chicago wins tonight, it becomes a 3 out of 5, and the Hawks have the home ice advantage. So that's quite a swing. Here's a steal by the Wings. Klima was clipped. Penalty coming here, and he may have been cut. He was hit up around the face area.
And he's going to go and check it.
And Helleman's going to take a look. This will be an interesting call. Of course, the crowd wants the 5-minute major. We've already had one call tonight. Dirk Graham saying, Andy, it's 2, right? And Van Helleman saying, well, I guess he wants to look at him again.
He's going to have another look at him again, see? Here's the decision. You'll tell by the Hawks' reaction. It's a 5-minute major, I'll tell you right now. Troy Murray's putting up the argument. Murray's going to argue, and that's it. It's a 5-minute major and a game misconduct.
And Mick, it's not only a big call, but that's a big loss because the guy that's going out is Troy Murray.
That's right.
And they're going to miss him. Penalty coming at 10:14.
Well, remember, accidental or not, it's an automatic call when you draw blood.
All right, while they're sorting it out, but we do know it'll be a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. We'll be back. Wings trail 2-1.
Game misconduct.
Peter Klima getting attended to by Jim Pengelly. He took it right on the nose. You can see they're going to plug it up right now. Let's see how it happened. Barr with the forecheck. Here comes Klima. And there is the clip right there. Troy Murray turns. It looked like it was accidental. But again, there is no choice on the call when you draw blood. It's an automatic 5 in a game. Here's a good look at it from behind. Murray really just trying to turn and go the other way. Didn't even know Klima was there. And the Red Wings trail at 2-1 now. Have a good opportunity to get back into this thing. Tie it up and maybe go ahead. They can score as many as they can get. They have credited the second Chicago goal to Troy Murray. Now this is the first goal we're looking at. Dirk Graham right there. And I don't think that hit O'Connell. It went through O'Connell's legs. I don't think Steffen picked it up until late. But we'll see if we can get a look at that second Chicago goal when we get time and see if indeed it was a redirection off a Detroit player and not Troy Murray.
Yeah, they've announced it to Savard, which would be his second of the series. Tipped into the Chicago zone by Oates. Chevrier bouncing puck. Knocks it down. McLean is there. Here's Yzerman trying to dump it in front. Chevrier sends it to the corner. Dirk Graham looking for an opening. And he just does get it by Adam Oates. 4:25 left in the major penalty. It comes to Chason. We told you last night the Hawks gave up an NHL record 122 power play goals against. McLean in deep. Goes back to the corner. McGill got it by Yzerman, but not by Oates. Oates sends it back to the corner. Conroy is there. He plays it around. Larmer chops at it. Didn't get it by Chason. Now it's slapped away by Larmer on a second effort, and it goes down the ice. Hawks with a 2-1 lead. And that's a two-line pass. One thing the Wings don't want to do, Mick, is try to score in the first minute or do it too quickly. There's still plenty of time up there.
Yes, but if you get too nonchalant about it as well, the next thing you know, the 5 minutes has gone by and the other team has gotten some opportunities. Have a look at that second Chicago goal now. Savard. Sure, so you can tell, I think, by the reaction of Troy Murray, it went off his body. I don't even know if he got his stick on it looking at that replay, but certainly seemed to go off Murray. But we'll see. It's 2-1 Chicago, though.
Chason drives it in behind Chevrier. Up the boards, Manson is there. He's checked by Klima. Yzerman to help out. Klima sends it up the boards. Chason pinched in. The Hawks looking for a 2-on-1. Good play by Oates to get over there. Oates up the middle now. Yzerman across the line. He's in. Scored! Power play goal! 2-2.
Boy, that was supposed to be offside. Klima cut across in front of Yzerman, barely stayed on the blue line. Yzerman did a little different thing this time with a break. Nice setup from Oates right up the middle line. Watch Klima just darted across in front of him. Yzerman makes a move to the forehand, backhand, forehand, right between the legs, it looked like, to tie this thing at 2. A minute 34 into the 5-minute major to Troy Murray.
Through the legs of Chevrier, it appeared. And the Wings still with a man advantage. They held Yzerman without a point last night. He already has 2 goals. Paul McLean sends it to the corner for Yzerman. Back for McLean. Quick shot, saves Chevrier. Hudson got it past Adam Oates. Oates and Chason drew the assists on Yzerman's second goal. Here comes Yzerman again. He had it and lost it. Now Savard behind the net, lost it. Yzerman, a save, Chevrier. At the line, held in by Norwood. Sends it back in behind the net, taken there by Yzerman. Yzerman skates out, gives it off to Norwood. Back to Yzerman. In deep, McLean in front. It comes out now to Oates. Lets the shot go up high. Save. Loose puck. Chevrier save. Another chance. Oh! They blew the whistle. Van Helleman blew the whistle. It was a quick one, but he lost sight of the puck. The crowd here doesn't realize yet that it's no goal.
We're going to in a couple of seconds. Oates with a high drive. He stunned Chevrier with that. Gallant with a good turnaround rebound. He just ripped it at the net. McLean got a piece of it, but not much. And that's where Van Helleman totally lost sight of it and thought it was underneath Chevrier.
Well, it's Van Helleman's job. As soon as he loses sight of it, and he was behind the net, which he's supposed to be back there, of course, as the puck goes in to have a good look at whether or not indeed it's a goal. And as soon as he lost sight of it, he blew the whistle. So still 2:28 left in the major penalty to Troy Murray. We've had 2 high-sticking major penalties and game misconducts here in the first period. 1 to each team. Nil has gone for Detroit. Troy Murray has gone for the Hawks.
Good thing about that for the Red Wings is the damage is done and it's over. For the Hawks, it's not over yet.
Chason sends it toward the net. Yzerman, a chance. Tried to stuff it up high, and here comes Mike Hudson. Now he's got Dirk Graham with him. Graham, dangerous shorthanded situation. around Oates, but he couldn't center it. Oh, and he went crashing into the end board. Well, the Wings regain control. Long pass center ice for Gallant up the left wing. Chopped at by Bob Murray. He was able to clear the zone. Here comes Graham again. Hawks changing up. Chason has it. Just under 2 minutes left in this Red Wing power play. Barr could not stop it. Giveaway by Doug Wilson. Yzerman is onside. Takes a look. Blasts the shot. It went wide as it was deflected. Comes back to Yzerman. Rim of the circle. In deep for Barr. Looking out for Chason. Picked off by Larmer, and he's got Presley with him. Barr hustling back to even it up. Larmer didn't have a shot. He's going to kill some more time. But Klima took it away from him. Peter Klima now. He'll get this crowd going. Little move on Presley. Klima across the line. Oates peels back now. Wants to get something better set up. Klima had it knocked off his stick. Larmer able to drive it all the way down the ice. Minute 10 left in the major penalty to Troy Murray. Wings have one power play goal already on this 5 minutes, 1-man advantage. Klima really drilled by Manson. There it was. Hawks looking to come out, and they do. O'Connell gives it off now to Norwood. Norwood flips it across, deflected by Barr into the Chicago zone. Barr checking Yanni. Good job there. Burr sends it back. Hudson did not get it by O'Connell. Good job by O'Connell. Gives it to Norwood. Lets the shot go. Save. Rebound just wide by Klima. Couldn't get much wood on the back end. Behind the net now, Barr. Barr went down. Kicks it with a skate. Gives it off to Klima. Dumps it out off the boards. O'Connell shot. Save Chevrier. And there's no rebound. 20 seconds left now in the major penalty.
Good thing for Chevrier he covered that rebound because there was nobody there except Dave Barr.
Saturday and Sunday night, we'll have more action for you here, beginning Saturday night at 8 o'clock with the Red Wing Yearbook hosted by Ray Lane. Then Game 3 from noisy Chicago Stadium. We'll have it for you here beginning at 8:30, and of course, same time, same station Sunday night. Game 4 right here on WKBD TV 50, your place for sports.
We got to get dandy going for you here tonight. 5:06 to play first period. Now the Hawks, up till this point in time, had nobody in the penalty box for that 5-minute major to Troy Murray, so they got lucky. With 20 seconds to go in the penalty, they throw Denny Savard in there, hook him right out and play in 20 seconds.
Yzerman won the draw cleanly. Gallant back to O'Connell. Back to Gallant. Sends it in front. Went all the way across for Yzerman in the corner. Little move on Creighton. Now Paul McLean sends it back to Chason. Lets the shot go. That hit Gallant in the backside, I believe. Chason dumps to the corner. Savard is out. The major penalty's over. Here's Yzerman trying to get it in front. He is ducked. Doug Wilson clears it around. Held in by O'Connell. Back for Gallant. Rolls it out in front. Picked off by Creighton, and the Hawks finally able to escape their own zone. They've been outshot here 17-5 by the Wings in the first period. Quick shot, Savard. Save made by Steffen. Chason got it to the line. Held in Manson. Drive. And that was stopped in front. Wings able to clear it. Yzerman has it center ice.
See what Wilson's doing right there when Yzerman grabs the puck at center ice. He doesn't even wait back on his side. He's challenging Yzerman immediately. They're trying to jump on him early and don't let him the time to get ahead of steam at their blue line.
Chris King now on the left wing side, center ice, drives it behind Chevrier. Higgins on the right side, sends it back behind the net. King is there, centered it, and Chevrier backed right into his net and knocked it off the magnets. 3:51 remaining in the first period. A dandy going here. We're tied at 2. Elaine Chevrier again working in the nets for the Hawks. Made his playoff debut last night and played well for Mike Keenan's club in a losing effort. Greg Steffen, of course, his 27th playoff game of his career tonight, so he's used to these wars. Shabbat won the draw. It comes to Delorme. Sends it in wide of Chevrier, taken out by Bob Murray. Looks to come out with it, gets it to Hudson. Center ice, blocked by Zambo. Recovered by Dirk Graham. Backhands it in on Steffen. He sweeps it to the corner. Zambo, nice little chip pass there to get it to Shabbat. Santa Pass and Higgins battling.
Santa Pass really giving it to Higgins. And he's watching it all.
Santa Pass now through center ice. Tried to give it off to Graham. It was blocked by Zambo. He clears it up the middle. Higgins leaves it there now for Chris King. King played it ahead. It was deflected and
an offside call. Even though Red Wing played it. Shabbat was in early, so we're still 2-2, 3:12 to go.
Jacques Demers, very animated here in the first period. Mike Keenan said his team would be more assertive tonight, and they've been just that. The Wings have responded to the challenge, though. Been a more physical game on both teams' part so far. Creighton in the corner. Tries to send it back for Van Dorp, seeing his first action of this period. Barr hit hard by Creighton, and that'll be a penalty.
Yeah.
Delayed call. Here comes Norwood. Step into the bench for the extra attacker. Barr going wide on Presley. Barr tries to center it. It was blocked, and the whistle blows, and Creighton is going to get the penalty. Wings go on the power play with the game tied at 2. There's the guilty party. Adam Creighton off for roughing at 17-17. So the Red Wings will have.
Thought he called that boarding, but that signal he gave to the timekeeper, that's that hitting from behind against the boards, and Van Helleman made the call. It's supposed to be an automatic call. It's in the book that way, but not that many referees do call it in that fashion.
Comes to Chason. Fakes the shot. Goes to Yzerman. Sends it across.
Oh.
And Wilson chipped it away from Paul McLean. Here is Gallant. Sends it back to the point. Oates quickly for Chason. Lets it go. Deflected by Yzerman and went over the top of the net. Up the boards now Hudson for the Hawks. And good job by Chason to keep it in. Bouncing puck. McLean has it. Quick shot. And it was underneath the Chicago player. Ooh. Puck came loose. Again. Van Helleman blowing the whistle. Statistically speaking, Mick, this is the Wings' 4th power play opportunity of the first period, because when they scored with the 5-minute power play.
You think guy had supper? He's got a great big full Little Caesars pizza and a whole lot of refreshments. He's lucky to make it up the steps here at the arena.
When the Wings scored on that 5-minute major, it then became 2 power play opportunities. So this is actually Detroit's 4th power play chance. Hawks looking to clear that hit. Yzerman sends it back to Chason. Cruises in. And Chevrier, good save there up high. Behind the net now. Yzerman knocks it loose. Chason hustles up. Big collision there, but he took the hit. Hawks able to play it off the glass center ice. Dirk Graham had it just roll out of his reach. No, and he gets it away from Oates. Graham across the line. Just dumps it in behind Steffen. Minute 5 left in the Red Wing power play. A minute 45 remaining now in the first period. 2-2 hockey game. Oates across the line. Sends it across. Nice play to get it by everybody to Oates on the right wing, or rather to Barr. Nice play by Oates. Barr sends it back. Oates couldn't keep it in. Oates trying to weave through traffic, and it's intercepted and cleared by Presley. 40 seconds still left now in the Creighton penalty. All the way to center ice, Yzerman. Gives it off to Klima. He's got a full head of steam. Battling against Doug Wilson. Norwood comes in to pick up the loose puck. Jams it back to the corner for Klima. Klima behind the Chicago net. Takes it to the corner, lays it off the boards now for Chason. Back for Klima. Sends it across. It was deflected and fired just wide by Barr. Deflected by a Chicago player, and it almost worked out to the Red Wings' benefit. Less than a minute remaining now in the period. Only 6 seconds left in the Chicago penalty, but the Wings on the move. Chason goes to Barr. Looking in front for Chason, and Chevrier had to make a save. Creighton is out of the box. Hawks at full strength. Here comes Denny Savard. Savard across the Detroit line. Good poke check there by Klima. Bob Murray sends it back for Everett Santa Pass. Lets a shot go. Steffen just deflected that one.
Wow.
Back to get it, Bob Murray. 15 seconds remaining in the period. Savard again. Flips it ahead. Played off the boards by Zambo. Savard picks it up for the Hawks. Lets the shot go up high. Steffen has it in the glove. Plays it back up the glass the other way. Hudson takes a hit from Burr. Zombo around for Higgins, but the siren goes to end a very entertaining, well-played first period, featuring a couple of high stick game misconduct penalties, one to each team with a power play goal, and overall, the period ends tied at 2. Ray Lane will be back with his first intermission guest right after this.
After the first 20 minutes of play here at Joe Louis Arena in game number 2 of this best-of-7 series, the Red Wings and Blackhawks all tied up at 2-2. Yzerman with a pair of goals, and in between, Dirk Graham and Troy Murray scoring for the Chicago Blackhawks. I guess one of the great compliments you can say about a hockey player in the National Hockey League is he is a playmaker. And when he shows up with about 62 assists during the season, picks up 1 here in game number 2 and 3 last night, that's going to be a great compliment. You are going really good this year.
Well, thanks, Ray. That's nice of you to give me a compliment like that.
For a change, I guess. Adam Oates, our special guest. Adam, everything you thought in the first period that you see from the Blackhawks tonight?
Yeah, no question, Ray. You know, I knew they were going to come out more physical, more intense, because they got to win a game here. There's no question. And for them to go back down 2-zip will really be in our favor, and they'll be fighting a big hole. So, you know, they're going to come out hard. And Van Hellemond called a lot of penalties, which kind of slows them down. But, you know, at the end of the period, it's 2-all, so I'm sure we're pretty happy, and we'll go out and work hard.
And had a couple of quick whistles also in that first period.
Yeah, you know, Spuddy put it in. The puck was never tied up, but he lost sight of it, and, you know, maybe he's in the wrong position, I don't know. But power play, we're jamming, and the puck was never tied. And he blew the whistle, and it hurt us. But, you know, I mean, those things go both ways. Besides
the aggressive play when the Hawks came out tonight, they doing anything differently?
I don't think so. I think they're just trying to take the man a little bit more. You know, last night, it's a lot bigger arena than Chicago, and, you know, it's tough for them to run around and take bodies. And, you know, in our barn, it's real hard for them, but I think they're trying to tonight. And, you know, we just got to weather the storm. It's only a matter of time.
Okay, I want to go back 24 hours ago if I can. I know you're really interested in what's happening tonight, but I want to show you that bar goal last night and all the work you were doing to set things up.
Well, actually, Peter made the real good play in the corner, which, you know, he's really improved his game lately. And, you know, he forechecked and took 2 guys, and then let me come in and pick it up, and then we had to give tic-tac-toe with Barzy. And, you know, all 3 of us are working hard, and it really shows out there. I mean, we have good containment. Whether we score or not, you know, it's a matter of time. But I think the good thing is that we're getting containment, and we're turning over pucks, and it takes 3 guys, and all 3 of us are working hard, and it really helps.
When you talk about containment, and when you talk about working hard, I think that probably this year has been your hardest working amount of time on the ice, though. It seems like you have turned into a real digger to make things happen.
Well, you know, thanks a lot, Ray. You know, it takes a long time to adjust to the NHL, and I came out of college, and, you know, Jacques Demers has a lot of faith in me now and gives me a regular shift and a lot of responsibility. And I think when you get that, it shows confidence in you, and you feel it, and you go out there and you got to do your job to keep getting it. And, you know, it's been a rewarding year amongst all the troubles we've had. And, you know, I'd like to keep it going.
Troy Murray gone for Chicago. Jim Nill gone for the Red Wings. Game misconduct. What does this do to the Red Wings as far as losing Nill?
Well, Jimmy is very, very tough two-way player for us, and, you know, he really does his job well every night, and he kills penalties for us, and, you know, late in the game or late in periods, he's out there, and we're going to miss him, there's no question, and I think it's up to the other 19 guys to pick up the slack.
Will it get rougher in the second period?
I don't know about rougher, but I'm sure it's going to be just as physical. You know, the bodies will be still taken, and, you know, hopefully, you know, 2 high sticking penalties, that's, you know, that's not really too good, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of bodies taken.
Adam Oates, our special guest. Good luck to you in the second and third periods all the way during this playoff series.
Thanks, Ray.
Right now, this brief timeout for Arby's.
You're watching first round Stanley Cup playoff action between the Detroit Red Wings and the Chicago Blackhawks on WKBD TV 50, your place for sports.
Right here. This guy's got the best of both worlds. He's live at the arena and he's watching the action on his mini television on TV 50. I don't know what kind of reception he's getting here at the Joe. I'll tell you what, they know they're on camera right now. First intermission, 2-2 the score, Red Wings and the Blackhawks. Mick?
Pretty good period of hockey. I think Adam Oates said it best. They expected the Hawks to turn up the gas in the hitting department and keep it going. They didn't do that last night, and it cost them. They have so far here in the first period, but kind of a disruptive first period with the 2 5-minute major penalties for high sticking. Obviously, the Red Wings will miss Jim Nill in the penalty-killing role, and his constant up and down battering. On the other side, Troy Murray is going to be a big loss for the Hawks. He also kills penalties, plays the power play and a regular shift, so he's a key guy for Mike Keenan. They'll both be missed out there.
And if they were going to have one guy shadowing Yzerman, or at least have a line out there against Yzerman, it probably would be Troy Murray, who would center that line. So indeed a big loss for the Hawks. Let's take a look at the 4 goals in the hockey game. The first one came when each team was a man short.
Yzerman took the pass up the middle as the Hawks gambled and did not get the interception. Yzerman was there, did a little dipsy-do to the right, and was in penalty shot passing from center ice, and he's done, as he has done, I should say, so often this year. He goes top shelf right underneath the bar to beat Chevrier to make it 1-0. The Hawks come back and tie the game on a strange goal. I don't think this puck hit Mike O'Connell, but I don't know if Stefan really picked it up. Graham went right between O'Connell's legs, you see right there, and it kind of fooled Stefan. He got down a little bit late, caught the right pad underneath, but got underneath him and over the line to tie the hockey game. Graham looked like he was going to pass the puck, and then he just decided to shoot it at the net. Here Savard makes a play. I don't think there's any question right there. They're going to change that goal. Troy Murray on a beautiful feed by Savard. He got the head up and hit Murray right on the tape to make it 2-1. He just had to stuff it into the open net. And then the Wings came back with the 5-minute major to Troy Murray and tied the hockey game. Yzerman, his second of the game, and this time he made a move on Chevrier, a little bit different than the first breakaway one from center ice. Back him up a little, boys. There's your scoring summary. Yzerman on the second goal, though, a little deep to the left, froze the goaltender, pulled it across to his right, and stuffed it between Chevrier's legs. His second of the night, and Oates and Chason assisting. Pretty good period of play. I think we're in for a dandy before this one's over, Dave.
Time once again for our Little Caesars player of tomorrow. And right now, we're going to take a look at a youngster by the name of Michael York.
Player of Tomorrow, brought to you by Little Caesars, where you always get 2 great pizzas for 1 low price. Tonight's Little Caesars Player of Tomorrow is Mike York. Mike currently plays for the Little Caesars Squirt Major AAA travel team.
I started playing hockey when my brother's friend started playing, and he asked my brother to play, so he started playing, and I watched him, and I liked it, so I started playing.
Mike started skating at the age of 3 when he enrolled in the Lakeland Adam program. This season, Mike's Little Caesars team has a record of 19 wins, 3 losses, and 3 ties, as they went on to win the league championship. Mike scored 50 goals and had 38 assists for a total of 88 points. Mike is 4 feet 9 inches tall and weighs 85 pounds. He's 11 years old and attends St. Stephen's in Drayton Plains.
I'm hoping to play NHL for whatever team, and if not, then I'd like to play college for Michigan State.
Because of his love for the game of hockey, Little Caesars is proud to name Mike York as the Little Caesars Player of Tomorrow. Player of Tomorrow has been brought to you by Little Caesars, where you always get 2 great pizzas for 1 low price. You're watching first round Stanley Cup playoff action between the Detroit Red Wings and the Chicago Blackhawks on WKBD TV 50, your place for sports.
The technical question here at Joe Louis Arena, are you getting better reception? Are you getting the audio okay? Yes, you are. And it's still 2-2, and I know you're getting ready now for the start of the second period. Before we go back upstairs, let's check out those out-of-town scores right now for you. As we check our scoreboard, Buffalo and Boston, 0-0. That game now in the second period after Buffalo won that on the shutout last night. Philadelphia and Washington, no score in the second period. And a little mayhem going there in Pittsburgh. After 1 period of play, Pittsburgh leading 5-1. Back upstairs.
Second period just underway. Thank you, Ray. Here comes Dirk Graham now for the Hawks across the line. Dropped it back. Santa pass finally gets there. He and Gallant battle. O'Connell plays it up the boards. Hudson held it in. Santa pass behind the net. Rolled it out in front. Chance for Hudson, but a shot deflected off of Gallant. Graham sends it back to the corner. Gallant with a hit on Hudson. Santa pass and O'Connell with a bump. Good job by O'Connell, the smaller man, getting the better of that collision with Santa pass.
Mike O'Connell not that physical normally. Boy, come playoff time, look at this. Sacrifice time, boy. Do what you got to do. And he did it well right there. Santa pass surprised that O'Connell could be that physical.
Just to catch up on some of the news from last night out of those games, of course, former Flame Paul Reinhardt scoring in overtime. Only the 5th loss on home ice all season for the Calgary Flames as Vancouver took a 1-0 lead in that series. Tikkanen and Simpson scored late in the third, just 67 seconds apart, to give Edmonton a 1-0 lead in that series over L.A. Wayne Gretzky on the bench for 6 to 7 minutes in the third period. While Robbie Fatorik went for defensive specialist Steve Kasper with the Kings leading 3-2. Creighton across the line now. Gives it off to Bassett. Rolls it in front. Went just wide. Presley didn't get real good wood on it. Nobody sees the puck to the left of Stepan. Now Creighton does, but he couldn't bring it out in front. Paul McLean sends it back the other way into the Chicago zone. Bob Murray back to get it. He's checked hard by Gallant. Yzerman came in, but it's chipped away by Trent Yawney. Doug Huda backhands it into the Chicago zone. Chevrier leaves it there. Bob Murray lays it around. Presley backhands it center ice. Sambo knocks it down. Nice play. Got it to Barr. Lets the shot go. Chevrier made the save, but there was a rebound there. Now it's cleared back the other way. Would have been icing, but Stepan didn't realize it. Savard sends it back the other way now. Greg Gilbert sends it out in front. Barr is there. He's able to clear. Doug Wilson quickly redirects the pass ahead for Savard across the line. Moves it into Larmer. Back in front. Stepan, a save there.
Wow.
He robbed Gilbert. He got there just at the same time as the puck hit Gilbert's stick.
Nicely set up by the Hawks, though.
Back in behind Stepan. Now Zambo moves it quickly for Klima. Gives it off to Oates on the move. Across the line, trying to split the defense. Doug Wilson took it away and slaps it right into the benches out of play.
Dwayne Sutter got his second shift on the ice tonight, as it was for Greg Gilbert, who almost put the Hawks in front. And they really set this thing up. Sharp passing, good skating. Savard to Larmer to Gilbert. Good save, Stepan with the right pad.
Some other news out of those games last night. Boston continuing their mastery over, or Buffalo continuing their mastery over Boston at the Boston Garden last night, winning 6-0. Jacques Cloutier, his NHL playoff debut, got the shutout. Pierre Turgeon with a goal and 3 assists in that one. Phil Esposito lost his 3rd straight since replacing Bergeron. He lost the last 2 at the end of the regular season. Loses last night in Pittsburgh 3-1. Looks like he's going to lose again tonight. As everybody back in action tonight.
How do you figure that out? I mean, Van Beesbroek's supposed to be the #1 goaltender for the round, unless he's, hurt or something we don't know.
Well, you know what? I think there's a stat on Froze that he had had an incredible record against the Penguins.
That's a nice thing if Detroit touches it. Should be.
Touched first by Higgins. He was in front of Mike Hudson.
But you'd think that with that string, so to speak, being broken, then that Espo might have gone back with Van Beesbroek. He's been the Rangers' backstopper most of the season.
Operators on duty. You can order right now the highlight video of the 88-89 season. Yet to be named, but it's going to include some candid behind-the-scenes shots taken on the last Red Wing road trip of the season. And should be a great one. Of course, the final chapter yet to be written here in the playoffs, but an up-and-down season, yes. And we'll have all the highlights and lowlights, if you will, all on VHS or beta. And you can put your order in right now, 567-7500, operators on duty. You can use your Discover card, Visa, or MasterCard.
I forgot to ask our executive producer, Toby Cunningham, whether we got any good shots the other night. That camera's heavy.
That's right. We got some good shots with cameraman Mickey Redmond. Draw comes to Klima. Quick shot. Chevrier the save.
I tell you, that thing weighs about 40 pounds.
Here's Oates on the board. Digs it out to O'Connell. Lets the shot go. Deflected. Klima may have gotten a piece of it. Chevrier hangs on. Early second period. Wings of the Hawks tied at 2. Back at the Joe Louis Arena, where we had 36 penalty minutes in the first period, only 10, Mick, the entire game last night. So it has been a more physical game on both sides. Here is O'Connell. His pass didn't get through, and now starting it back, Hudson. Dirk Graham rolls it in on Stepan. Stepan plays it up the glass. Santa Pass held it in. Santa Pass cutting in front, gets up a shot, hit the post on the short side. Wings able to clear, bouncing puck. Manson slaps it away from Klima. It's taken by Oates. Drives it in behind Chevrier. Doug Wilson plays it around the board. Santa pass waiting there. Now Manson plays it rink wide. It got by Chason. Hawks going for a line change. Chason bumped by Creighton. Bassett over to pick it up. Bassett.
Oates just stole it right off him.
Klima able to clear the zone. And the Wings will start a line change. 3.5 gone by in the second period of game 2. 2-2 our score. Here comes Wayne Presley up the right side. Cuts to the middle of the ice. Quick shot save. Steffen rebound cleared away, and it's taken by Oates. Oates tried to hit Yzerman going up the right side. Presley drives it in behind Steffen. Here's Bassett into the corner. Check there by Norwood.
Up and over.
Presley held it in, though, for the Hawks. Sends it back to the corner. Huda checking Creighton. And Klima starts it back for Detroit. Klima decides to pull back, gives it off to Huda. He'll drive it back in. Up the boards, McGill is there. He had it roll off his stick. Yzerman flips it back over the head of Shabbat. And back come the Hawks now, leading the rush. This is Savard, comes up against Norwood. Savard lets it go. And Steffen just got a piece of that. Shabbat takes over now for Detroit. John Shabbat, center ice. Gets it into the corner to the right of the Chicago net. Greg Gilbert, big collision there with King, and King's going to get a penalty. Larmer sends it up the right side for Savard. Delayed call. Savard is open. Lets a shot go. Just missed it along the ice. And the penalty comes now as Yzerman touches up. Elbowing call against Chris King with 15:11 remaining. Second period.
Back live at Joe Louis Arena. 2-2 tie. 15:11 to go. Second period. And Norwood down. Bassin up and over. Norwood still delivers those old-fashioned hip checks once in a while. Steffen lost his stick for a moment. Santa pass. The shot gets delayed. See, Steffen doesn't see where it is. Leaves that short side position. Trying to move over and anticipate. He saw Santa pass's body going to the left. And Steffen went that way. The puck came back and went off the inside of the post and across the front of the net.
Hawks' third power play of the hockey game. They're 1 for 2, getting it on a 5-minute penalty to 0 in the first period.
Denny Savard looks like a much different player tonight than he did last night, Dave. He's got the gas going.
He's out there with Creighton, Larmer, Bob Murray, and Doug Wilson. Wilson, good job to hold in that puck at the left point. Sends it back behind Steffen. Steffen left it there, but the Hawks recover. Here's Savard along the board. Into the corner. Now Savard gets it back. Savard will let the shot go. Steffen the save. Rebound. Creighton scores with that big reach of his. The Hawks' second power play goal has given Chicago their second lead of the night.
Pretty tough to cover him in front of the net. And there wasn't much room between Steffen's skate and the goalpost. See, again, you've got the two Hawks on one Red Wing, that isolation. Look at that. Not more than about 8-10 inches, but enough. And that big, long reach of Creighton. Here's to be a good angle of it right here. Savard moving out. They're going to give him that shot. No problem. But you still got the mismatch in front. And Creighton stuffs it right on the ice. 3-2 Hawks. Power play goal.
Savard and Larmer draw the assists on Creighton's second of the series and second career playoff goal. This is the first time he's appeared in the playoffs. Dirk Graham had it, lost it to Yzerman, who got it across the line, but Yzerman checked. Hudson's pass picked off by Gallant, who hustled back. 5.5 gone by in the second period, despite a 22-14 shot advantage for Detroit. They trail 3-2. Find out what's happening around the world, the nation, and where you live with the 10 o'clock news. Join Roger McCoy. Amir Jacobson will have the day's top stories. Ray Lane will be along with the sports, and Randy Berta with the forecast. A good hour ahead. Stay tuned right here on WKBD TV 50 for a special edition of the 10 o'clock news immediately following tonight's game. And don't forget, starting Monday, the 10 o'clock news expands to a full hour of comprehensive news, sports, and weather. Here's Huda. Sends it across the Chicago zone. Manson played it off the glass. Hawks able to get it now. Here comes Dirk Graham leading a three-man rush. It goes to Santa, pass left wing. He tried to send in front. Comes to Doug Wilson. Good job by Paul McLean back checking.
Sure was.
Manson flips it in wide of Steffen. Huda up the right side. Paul McLean sends it ahead. Picked off Bob Murray. Dumps it back into the Detroit zone. Norwood back to get it. McLean couldn't get it out of there. Here comes Creighton. No, it was offside at the Detroit line with 13:44 left in the second period. A goal by Creighton has put the Hawks up by 1. This is Yanni now, center ice for the Hawks. Sends it across. Creighton, who just put Chicago ahead moments ago. Creighton is checked by Zambo. Delorme takes over. Plays it around for Dave Barr. He's checked by Yanni, but the puck went back the other way. Presley back inside his own zone. Now Creighton using that long reach, being checked by Oates. Gets it across the line. Delorme colliding there with Presley. Wings looking to clear. Hawks sent it right back at the net. Presley and Delorme are separated by DePuzzo, and the play continues. Here comes Oates now across the Chicago line. Holds up along the board. Sends it across. Delorme is there. Lets the shot go. Save. Rebound. Still loose, and it ends up back in the corner. Delorme has it there. Sends it out in front. Deflects to Creighton, and the Hawks will come back the other way. Presley has it deflect off his stick up into the Chicago bench. And out of play.
Barr had a good pop at that on a turnaround backhand after Chevrier made the original stop off of Delorme, who rarely gets in that deep. Have a look at it. 4 wings to the front of the net. Watch Barr right here. Chipped it right off a Baston's stick and forced Chevrier to make another save.
Face off out in front of the Detroit bench. Chevrier coming up big again. He has stopped 21 of the 23 shots he has faced here tonight.
Hasn't even played half the game yet.
O'Connell backhands it deep into the Chicago zone. Conroy to the line. Robertson couldn't hold it in. It deflects into the seats out of play. There's the former New York Islander, Steve Conroy, also a former Flame. He went to the Islanders from Calgary in that Tonelli trade, John Tonelli. Incidentally, Tonelli was a big scratch last night for the LA Kings. He came down with the flu, as did Kelly Rudy, who was expected to start in the nets. Glenn Healy played well, but Rudy is expected to go tonight in Game 2 at the Great Western Forum.
See the temperature out there in LA yesterday? 105 degrees.
Boy, that's hockey playoff weather, isn't it? Weimer drives it in. Now here's Greg Gilbert to the corner. For Savard, he's checked by Chason. It goes back to Gilbert. Burr is on him. Savard with a push on Burr. They continue to battle. Burr comes out of there with it. Sends it ahead for Higgins. He's checked by Conroy. McGill turns it back. Backhand pass to Larmer. He couldn't quite control it. They jam it along behind the Detroit net. It comes loose. Robertson sends it ahead for Chason. Up the right side for Higgins. Trying to cut in on Doug Wilson. Couldn't do it. And Manson has it for the Hawks. Out to center ice for Hudson. Hudson, number 43, up the left side. Trying to cut around Huda. Goes behind the net. Huda took it away. Good job by Doug Huda. Ahead for Paul McLean. Huda continues to follow up. Rolls it right in front. It comes out to Norwood. Lets it go. Deflected off McLean and went just wide. Hudson plays it up the boards. It'll be held in by Huda. He's got Yzerman. Lets the shot go. Blocked by Manson to the corner. Wings with their first good pressure in quite a while. Hawks try to break it up, and Manson will recover. Out to center ice, though. Norwood has it back. Sends it in wide of Chevrier. I'm not sure why they blew that one so quickly. 11:06 to go, second period. Hawks lead at 3-2.
Jimmy Higgins a moment ago fed by Chason, and he was ridden off by Doug Wilson. There's a penalty call coming here to Big Adam Creighton again as he hauled down Delorme. Right, he won't have far to go. 1, 2, 3.5 steps, and take a rest, Adam. 2 minutes for holding. 10:58 to go, second period. Have a look at it. Not much question. Watch Big Creighton. Left arm goes out. From Boise, Idaho, in the number 3 spot here at the rodeo. Adam Creighton goes for holding. He hog-tied him and tied him up in a flat 2 seconds. It'll take him 2 minutes to get over that. As the Hockey Club Detroit now gets a chance to tie the game.
Holding the call on Creighton and the Red Wings' 5th power play. They are 1 for 4. The Hawks have done the job with their power play chances. They have scored 2 tonight in 3 chances. The Wings have an opportunity here, but the Wings really had it going on that 5-minute power play in the first period. Scored once and had several great chances. See what they can do here. Hudson wins the draw back to Yanni. Trent Yanni goes center ice with it. Adam Oates backhands it to Chason. Gives it off to Gallant on the left wing, and McLean was offside going into the zone. Well, the Wings would love to get Paul McLean going. Big number 15. Playing in his 8th playoffs. Of course, coming over from Winnipeg. He started out like a house of fire through 53 games, Mick. 30 goals. He was on a pace for 45. He was averaging better than 2 shots a game. But in the last 23 games, he had only 6 goals. And that's not what they expect from Paul McLean. As we gear up for more basketball action here on TV 50 Friday night from Chicago and Monday night from Washington. Join George Blaha for all the play-by-play courtside action right here on WKBD TV 50, your place for sports. Yzerman to the corner. He is checked. Hawks look to clear, and they do. Minute 20 left in Creighton's penalty. 10:20 left here in the second period. Red Wings trailing 3-2. They lead the series 1-0. Hawks looking to regain the home ice advantage. Oates through center ice. Carries into the Chicago zone. Gets around Manson. Back for Gallant, and the shot was deflected before it got to Chevrier. Manson trying to cover it up. Wings able to knock it loose, but Yanni right there in front. Clears it ahead for Presley. In a race there with Chason. Chason gets there. Moves it back to Gallant. Oh, a giveaway here. Presley wheels and fires, and he knuckleballed it wide. 40 seconds left in the power play. Gallant now on the move. Gives it off to Oates. Back to the corner now for Yzerman. Yzerman in front for Barr. Was deflected. Yzerman has it right back. Carries it out to the blue line. Backhands it to Barr in the corner. He's hit by Bob Murray. Now Hudson takes over. Couldn't get it by Oates. Barr to the corner, gives it off to Gallant. Wings trying to get it spread out again with 15 seconds left in the power play, and the pass went off the mark there, and it's back the other way. Yzerman sends it into the Chicago zone, picked off by Savard. He'll clear, and that'll about do it. Just under 9 minutes remaining now in the second period. Wings trail by a goal. Chason plays it for O'Connell. Ahead now for Yzerman across the line. Makes a move on Trent Yanni, then went to the ice. Dirk Graham looking to clear it. Got it to Savard, a steal. Barr for Yzerman. Oh. What a save! Chevrier threw up the left skate. And what a stop he made on Yzerman. Klima, quick shot goes wide. Yzerman dumps it in front, but nobody there in white. Mark down that save by Chevrier. A big one. Dirk Graham the other way, and a save by Steffen. Pass up the middle goes to Higgins. Higgins across the line. He's got the speed going. Burr a shot. Chevrier the save. Loose puck. Klima. Save. Rebound. Another save. And the Hawks have it covered up. Wings do everything but tie the game. It remains 3-2 Chicago. Back in a moment.
Boy, the Wings do everything here, and Chevrier, again, the man of the hour. Yzerman with a redirection. Look at the fans, the arms up in the air. They thought it was in. And Higgins goes end to end and sets it up. Burr with a good opportunity. Klima with a rebound, and again, Chevrier. Here they are again. Higgins hauled down by Basson. Another Chicago penalty. With 8:03 to play second period, and the Wings are turning up the heat. And if it wasn't for Chevrier, this game would be tied. This time off the faceoff, Burr won the draw and got the puck himself. And Higgins was alone in front. Basson turned him inside out, knocked him down, and drew the penalty.
Well, the Red Wings' second straight power play, their 6th of the night. And it hasn't been that the power play isn't working. It's been Chevrier. Interference the call against Bassett on Tim Higgins. And the Wings with a man advantage again. Yzerman and Hudson, they jam it up. Hawks control, and look out, that's cleared right up into the Detroit bench.
Hudson again on a big face-off. Boy, Mike Keenan really showing confidence in that young man. Using him last night, trying to tie the game in the waning seconds with the goaltender out here in a shorthanded situation. And he's taking all the important draws for the Hawks. Of course, Troy Murray would normally take some of them. And
Right.
he's long gone with a 5-minute major for high sticking in the first period.
Yzerman and Hudson again. Chason is the trigger man, right back behind Yzerman, who wins the draw to Chason. He'll let it go. Chevrier saw it all the way. Comes to Oates. Oates with a shot. Chevrier way out. Loose puck, and the Hawks able to clear it. Good job by Kleeman to get back. He was chopped there by Hudson. Play is onside, but it's taken away by Dirk Graham. Chason has the angle on him. Graham's shot deflected by Chason. Oh, look out. If Graham picked that up, he had Presley moving in. Graham steals, and a save off the glove of Steffen. Minute 25 left in the man advantage. Here comes Yzerman. His pass for Klima deflected.
He's going to get it.
He may cut in. Save Chevrier. Loose puck, and he covers up.
Boy, he was on fire that time. Klima with as good a head of steam as he could get. And he got that thing at a bad angle, but he brought it back in front, being on his off wing. He's got the big side of the net to the forehand. He just brought it out front, tried to stuff it high, and Chevrier held the ground.
Boy, Klima is like a split end. When he gets going out there, the job of the quarterback, in that case, Yzerman, is to just lob it out there because you know he's going to run under it.
Get it to him.
Minute 15 left in Basson's penalty. 7:18 left in the second period. That man has the 2 Red Wing goals. They trail 3-2. Yzerman and Creighton. Creighton won the draw, and it's cleared out of there by Doug Wilson. Steffen leaves it for Oates. Here comes Savard. He's got the Jets going tonight. Good pass, though, to get it ahead to Gallant. Off now for Yzerman. Cross the line on Wilson. Paul McLean sent it right in front. Good job by Creighton. He cleared it away. 50 seconds left in the Detroit power play. Steve Chason sends it across. Nice play. McLean onside. Dumps it back in behind Chevrier. Chevrier played it off the boards. Wilson just did get it by Oates. Oates moves it now to Chason across the line. Chason couldn't get it by Doug Wilson. Wilson lost it to Gallant, but good effort there by Hudson to clear it away. Ahead now for Yzerman. Nice pass to Gallant. Couldn't get it to McLean as it was knocked away by Dirk Graham, and he clears it by Oates. Look out, here's Presley. Presley coming in alone, short-handed bid here. He scores!
Strictly a bad bounce over top of Adam Oates at the blue line twice in a row. And that puck took a hop, went right over his foot and his stick. And that allowed Presley to break loose all the way. Watch this thing. Presley came from the far side. It's onside all the way. He made a fake to the backhand, back to the forehand, much like Yzerman did in the first period, and stuffed it between Steffen's legs to make it a 4-2 hockey game. 7 seconds left in the Hawk penalty. Now, it's an unassisted goal at this point, but it shouldn't be. One of the defensemen will get an assist on that, I'm sure.
Bassett comes out of the box, so the special teams the difference tonight. 2 power play goals and a shorthanded goal by the Hawks. Manson slows down Klima, but he keeps going. Manson checked now by Shabbat. Manson up the middle, goes to Presley. Gives it off now to Graham. Hawks with a 2-goal lead. Graham fakes, cuts right in, and he's hooked there by Norwood. Penalty coming. Shot and a save by Steffen. That was blasted by Savard. Conroy with a chance. Steffen stops that one. And Norwood's going to get the hooking call, and the Hawks, with a 2-goal lead, get the man advantage.
Lee Norwood in the box for hooking. 14-26. There's the hook on Graham, who put a good move on the defenseman coming down the right side. Hawks lead it by a pair and a chance to extend the lead here.
Key situation here for the wing penalty killers. If they can get through this, they'll have about 3.5 minutes to try to get 1 goal back heading into that third period. You don't want to be down 2 or 3 going into the third, that's for sure. Here is Savard. Sends it in deep, but it was deflected. Steffen got a piece of it. Limer for the Hawks now. Drops it back for Creighton. Got it in front, hit the side of the net to the left of Steffen. Back to the right point, Bob Murray. Sends it to the left point, Doug Wilson. Sends it toward the net. It was blocked in front. Chason couldn't get it through there. Limer has it. Sends it out. Bob Murray back to Limer. In deep for Creighton. Controls again, but he was hooked. Now it's slapped by Yzerman. He's able to clear to Shabbat. Here comes Chason joining to make it a 2-on-1.
Gotta hurry.
Shabbat for Chason. He just had the pass deflected.
Hit Bobby Murray, yep.
Yzerman holds it in, but he decides to skate back the other way to kill some time. Yzerman clears it back. Taken by Limer on the move. Limer across the line. Little pass now for Savard to the corner. He tips it to Graham. Back for Savard. Savard takes a look. Quick pass. They've got a man open in front, but it's shut down by Yzerman. Back to the point, Doug Wilson. Sends it across to the opposite corner. Now Graham behind the net. Looking out in front. He has Doug Wilson. Save Steffen. Well, that hit him up high as Wilson really drilled it. Savard again takes a look. Lays it back. Doug Wilson. Shot just wide of the net. O'Connell able to flip it through center ice. Half a minute left in Norwood's penalty. 4 minutes now left in the second period. It's a 4-2 Chicago lead, despite a 31-19 advantage on the shot clock for the Red Wings. And they've had some quality chances. Chevrier has just been great in the nets for the Hawks as Hudson now takes a hit from Barr. Up the boards, here comes Huda. Sends it across for Barr. Barr tried to tip it by Manson. It just hit Manson's skate. Hudson pokes it ahead for Yanni. Out of the box comes Norwood. Zambo gives it off to Huda. Back the other way. Norwood deflects it in on Chevrier. 3:25 to go in the period. The Wings kill off a big penalty there. Basson stick handling through his own zone. Center ice. Oh, boy, what a hit by Burr.
Wow.
And he got away with an elbow there. Not much question about that. Here's Barr now. Lets it go to the corner. Klima is there, knocks it loose. Presley will get it for the Hawks, and he'll just clear the zone. Back to get it, O'Connell. Moves it now to Chason. Center ice for Barr. He's got Oates on the move into the Chicago zone. Oates sends it back across looking for Barr. Poked away, and the Hawks will clear. Back comes Graham for Chicago. Dirk Graham drops it back for Gilbert. Slaps it to the side of the net. Steffen steers it away. O'Connell has it there. Ahead for Chason. He sends it in wide. It deflects right to Chevrier. Leaves it there for McGill. Backhand flip. He clears the zone. Zambo lost it there to Gilbert. Picked up on the move. Savard lets it go. Just wide. Going for that far post. McGill sends it back toward the net. Deflected. And just wide of Steffen on the other side. Conroy holds it in. His
Another
shot.
penalty, Detroit.
It is O'Connell. He took Savard down in a cross-checking penalty.
2:10 to go, and the Hawks again. Back-to-back power plays, a chance to extend the lead. The last power play, the Hawks had some excellent scoring chances. Several of them by number 24, Doug Wilson.
Another big penalty for the Wings to kill off. Pass in front. Creighton backhanded it just wide. 2 minutes left in the period. Minute 47 now left in the penalty.
It's in the equipment somewhere.
To O'Connell, yes.
Whose is it in? That's the key, because if it's in Wilson's equipment, the face-off will come outside, won't it? Never thought of that one before. Yes, sir. It does, too. It was up underneath his pant leg. I wonder how that thing can find its way up there.
Doug Wilson, who assisted on the Creighton power play goal last night. Looking for his experience to be a driving force in the Hawks trying to upset the Wings here in the first round of this playoff. Bob Murray back to get it. Moves it across for Doug Wilson. Wilson back at his own line. Little flip pass there for Creighton. Creighton is checked. Hawks got back on side, but Yzerman able to slap it away. Minute and a half left in the period. A minute 20 left in the Detroit penalty. Here comes Savard on the move. Dances into the Detroit zone. It's knocked off his stick. He slaps at it. Huda tries to kick it out. Hawks hold it in. It goes in deep for Limer in the corner. Sends it out to the point. Bob Murray across for Wilson. Doug Wilson moves it to Savard. Savard in deep now for Creighton. Creighton sends it across, deflected in the air. Oh, and a shot hit the side of the net. Ooh. That came down, and the Hawks got a good pop at it. Wilson across for Bob Murray. It goes to Limer. Back to Murray. And it's off the skate of Wilson. Quick reaction with a stick to hold it in. Huda sends it back up the board. Savard waiting there for it. Savard in the circle. Takes a look in deep. Deflects out in front. Loose puck. Ends up in the corner. Limer has it there. Bob Murray again to Doug Wilson. Back to Murray. Fell down, but he's able to work it to Limer. Limer sends it to the corner for Savard. Backhands it in front. Steffen had to make a save, and Burr able to clear it down the ice. 15 seconds left in the O'Connell penalty. Just over 20 seconds left here in the second period. Hudson sends it across. Presley pushes it ahead. Checked from behind by Shabbat. It comes back to the line for Yanni. Yanni's shot blocked in front. Norwood has it caught up in his equipment, and the whistle blows with 5 seconds left in the period, and the penalty to O'Connell has expired.
Yzerman took a high stick from Presley accidentally.
Well, we have this chance. We'll pass along this reminder to you. WKBD TV 50, 104 WOMC, and Uniglobe Travel are going to send 2 lucky winners and their guests to an away game during the second round of the playoffs. To enter, just send a postcard to WOMC Radio, Detroit, Michigan, 48220, and you may be seeing the Wings in the second round of playoff action. You look at Dwayne Sutter, the man with the most playoff experience on this Chicago club, playing his 127th postseason game.
And the Wings will have their work cut out for them, certainly in the third period, trailing by a pair. Both teams are playing awfully hard. We need to look at what's coming up. Ray Lane with Adam Creighton. He's got a goal tonight, had one last night, and has had several other golden opportunities around Greg Steffen.
Yzerman and Hudson. Now this faceoff, as you see, between the circles, almost directly in front of Steffen. Yzerman wins the draw. Chason will just let the clock wind down. And that'll do it for the second period of play. The Hawks get the only 2 goals in period 2. And Chicago leading it by a score of 4-2. We'll be back. Ray Lane visiting with Adam Creighton, and we'll have more in our second intermission in just a moment.
After a 2-2 first period, the Blackhawks score a power play goal and then a shorthanded goal to go out in front after 2 periods of play by a score of 4-2. Crowd with refreshments getting all set for period number 3. Before we get to the third period, let's talk about a guy that seems to be making a young career against the Detroit Red Wings. 5 goals, 1 assist against them in a short time this season. Now you come back and you have 2 goals in 2 games. Adam Creighton, our special guest. You break the tie and you get the power play goal. So what else is there going for you?
Well, I think tonight we're just working a little harder, and I know Detroit's, they're getting their chances, but I don't think they're capitalizing, and I think they might be getting a little frustrated. But, you know, on the other hand, we're working pretty hard, too, and we capitalize on our power play, and, you know, that helps. I think it kind of sunk them a little bit, and they might have let down on their power play, and that allowed us to score another shorthanded goal, so it feels pretty good right now. I just hope we can continue for the next period.
Do you want to talk about a young goaltender in your nets tonight? He seems to be outstanding.
Yeah, everyone thinks he's young. He's not that young. He's about 27 or 28, but he's playing really well for us. I mean, you know, he's come up big last night. He had a big game, and I don't think, you know, the team really came through for him. And tonight we're trying to do that for him, and for the coach, Mike Keenan, and for the rest of the guys. I mean, we're all working it together, and that's what's going to win playoff hockey.
Adam Creighton, our special guest, and for you old-timers, if you go back and think about tall and rangy players, maybe the name of Eddie Litzenberger will come to mind. And Eddie, who used to skate for the Chicago Blackhawks, played a little time here with the Detroit Red Wings. Mickey Redmond was talking about you last night, tall and rangy, and really know how to get those arms out there around that net.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, sometimes I feel I'm too big for this game, and I just get in the way too much, but other times, you know, I can use my size to my advantage, and especially around the net, I think that's where I have a big advantage, and I think it's tough for goalies to cover that much net all at once if I'm moving the puck back and forth and or coming out from behind the net. But you know, it does has the disadvantages, and you know, you got to learn to skate. It feels like, you know, you're catching those little guys that are just scooting around there. You know, it's pretty tough, but you know, in a while, after a while, you get used to it, and you just become accustomed to it.
Adam, let me take to the other side of the ledger. Talking about your goal scoring, you've been to the penalty box a couple times tonight. Is that because of size?
No, I think the first one was kind of a, you know, he just sort of turned away, like he was going for the puck on the boards, and I was coming in and I just hit him, and I think that new rule about hitting, like when I hit him in the back, and I guess that new rule, they call that right away, and the other one I just sort of missed my man, and I thought maybe if I could get my arm out there I'd be able to stop him, but I did. I guess I kind of hung him up there to dry, and I guess the ref didn't like that. So
1983, #1 draft choice of Buffalo Sabres. December 26, 1988, all of a sudden Rick Vive goes over to Buffalo, and you arrive from Buffalo to Chicago. A surprise for you?
In a way it was, and in a way it wasn't. You know, you never expect to be traded because you know, you feel comfortable where you are and things like that. But when it hits, then you realize, you know, it's tough to get over at first. I mean, I struggled when I first came here, and you know, some nights I struggled too. You know, you got your home in Buffalo and stuff, and it's tough. But you know, other than that, I think you know, Rick's done well for Buffalo, and hopefully I can continue to do well here in Chicago. Okay, let's talk about the present then. A 4-2 lead. You've been here for 40-plus games during the regular season. Your first playoff action. But being here now with Keenan, what would you expect him and this team to do in the third period? Well, we got to play, just keep playing the same style and tighten up on our defense and just keep going after them, because if we let down, they got guys like Yzerman and Oates and those guys, they can put the puck in the net. And Klima, you know, he's skating all the time. And I think if we just keep playing our same style, they'll get frustrated and we'll win the hockey. And what's it do once we move over to Chicago? The advantage go to you guys? Well, if we win tonight, yeah, of course, I think it would go to us. It's tough to get a win in someone else's building in the playoffs, but you never know what can happen. I mean, it's a funny game, and you know, we'll just have to wait and see. We got one at a time. That's all we're going to take it. Adam Creighton is the gentleman making those words come your way, and will come your way in just a moment. First, this time out.
You're watching first-round Stanley Cup playoff action between the Detroit Red Wings and the Chicago Blackhawks on WKBD TV 50, your place for sports.
Back live at the Joe Louis Arena. Intermission. Second intermission of Game 2 of this best-of-7 North Division semifinals, and the Hawks leading by a score of 4-2. Mick, I thought last night's game was more evenly played. I think if either club has more of an advantage tonight, it would seem to be the Red Wings. The shots favoring Detroit 31-22. Elaine Chevrier probably the difference right now.
It's a game of breaks, yes, and good goaltending. And Chevrier, without a doubt, has really you know, kept the Hawks in it when the score was tied 2-2. But it is a game of breaks, good ones and bad ones. And you know, the puck jumping over Adam Oates' stick, that's just a bad break, and it allowed Presley to get loose in that one. We'll have a look at the second period goals in just a second. But you know, it is a game of give and take, and some guys get the break sometimes, and other times you don't. The Wings got a break last night on a goal by Klima, and tonight the Hawks will get it. We'll look at their third goal, the first one of the second period by Creighton, a power play goal. And then again, special teams, we talk how important they are. They've got 2 power play goals, and then this shorthanded goal by Wayne Presley, who got behind Chason. He didn't even see him coming. The puck had jumped over Oates' stick and his skate, and Presley went in, put a nice fake on Stefan, and stuffed it home with only 7 seconds left in the Chicago penalty, a shorthanded goal. So 3 special teams goals by the Hawks, a good couple of breaks for Chicago and not for Detroit, and therefore the 2-goal lead for the Hawks.
Red Wings will have to come out again in the third period. Now, they can't play that same defensive style that was so successful for them last night because they trailed by 2. They're going to have to come out and try to get something very early.
They're going to see a lot of it out of Chicago. That's exactly as Adam Creighton said. They're going to try to do that. The Wings are going to have to turn up the offense a notch a little bit and try to get back into this thing. They try to get one in the first 10 minutes and go from there. I mean, 2 goals is not a long way out of any hockey game at all, but you've got to get the offense going. All they can do is keep going at Chevrier. There's not much they can do about the way he plays goal. I shouldn't really say they got to get it going because they did have it going. They got 31 shots on goal. They just got to keep pumping it at Chevrier. Something sooner or later is going to go in.
Coach's Clinic right now as Jacques Demers talks about the importance of staying on side when you have that 2-on-1 break.
Coach's Clinic with Jacques Demers. Brought to you by Weingarts, Michigan's largest outdoor power equipment dealer since 1945.
In a Coach's Clinic this week, we're going to talk about the 2-on-1 offside. Many times we don't understand what is an offside. We've got 3 youngsters here, and we'll do it in slow motion. We'll stop and we'll indicate to you why is the player offside. Here we go with the offside 2-on-1. The puck carrier has to precede the guy. As we look right here, this player here crossed the line before the puck carrier, and it's an automatic offside. The 2-on-1, the puck carrier has to go ahead, and the guy who does not have the puck, the youngster does not have the puck, has to wait before, let the puck carrier take the puck into the zone. Let's do it again just to make sure. 2-on-1, very important to understand. Let the puck carrier go ahead of you. You don't have the puck, let the puck carrier make the play. Here we go again, a 2-on-1. As we watch now, the non-puck carrier crosses the line before, and that's an automatic offside. The referee blows the whistle. You got to start the play again. When you got a 2-on-1, you got to take full advantage of it.
Coach's Clinic with Jacques Demers has been brought to you by Weingarts in Utica. We service what we sell. On the next Piston Yearbook,
the party hasn't started yet.
Isaiah and Mark together in an exclusive interview.
Looking for the bad boys.
It's Show and Tell with Ray Lane and the Bad Boys.
I want the leather coat.
Find out if Daly really violated NBA rules.
I'm checking with my attorney and we'll see what happens.
John Long is a Piston again, and the Long family couldn't be happier.
I think it was a great move for me.
Are the Pistons playing plantation basketball? All that in Air Jordan when the Pistons battle the Bulls live Friday night starting at 8 with Piston Yearbook on TV 50. You're watching first round Stanley Cup playoff action between the Detroit Red Wings and the Chicago Blackhawks on WKBD TV 50, your place for sports.
Here at Joe Louis Arena, the third period just around the corner. We have time, though, to check those out-of-town scores for you right now. So let's check the out-of-town scores from our scoreboard here on TV 50. Minnesota with a 3-1 lead over St. Louis that game in the second period. Minnesota jumped off to a 2-0 lead. Montreal with that 1-0 lead over Hartford in the second. Buffalo with Malarchuk in the nets tonight. His first return out in front 3-1 since that serious injury. Philadelphia and Washington still scoreless in the second. And the New York Rangers trailing Pittsburgh 6-2. That game now midway in the second period. Now we're all set for the third period at Joe Louis, and the Red Wings need some instant goals. They trail 4-2 back upstairs.
Thank you, Ray. We just got word here just to update that Philadelphia-Washington score that Dino Ciccarelli scored with 1 second left on the clock in the second period. So the Caps lead at 1-0 going into the third. The Red Wings right here need to get something going. The Wings were just 4-23-4 when they trailed after 2 periods of play. The Hawks, though, lost 6 games this year when they had a lead after 2, and that's probably one of the highest totals in the league. In fact, the Hawks, Mick, from February 19th to the end of the season, blew 7 2-goal leads. All of those games on home ice, they lost 4 of them and tied 3. So they've had a bit of a habit of blowing the 2-goal lead down the stretch, and the Wings hope that they can perhaps they can turn that onto the Hawks here in the third period. As you look at the last 3 playoff series between these two clubs, the Wings sweeping them back in '87. The Hawks, when the first round was still 3 out of 5, and then back in 1970. And apparently we're having some problem with the official clock here, Mick. They can't get the 20 minutes up there, just the 3 zeros, as you see.
There, look, those guys down there are looking up here. That's the case. They'll have to get the old stopwatch out and make the announcements over the public address.
Andy Van Hellemond talking to the Blackhawk captain, Dirk Graham.
Well, of course, they could always turn it around and start from zero. That's the old way they used to do it.
Guess you would have had to have played a while ago to remember that, Mick.
Oh, I did. A long while ago. Well, they've called, I couldn't hear the name, they've called somebody down to the official scorer's table. I would imagine somebody who is an electrician of some sort or has some knowledge of the clock system as to how to get this thing keyed up to the 20-minute mark. And normally they start at 20 and back it down to 0. And I don't know if they can start this thing from 0 at this point and go up to 20. They certainly could do that if the clock will start. It may not even want to start from 0, and I think we're going to have a delay here until they can get a mechanic down there to have a look at that thing.
You know, Mick, we just saw that the Hawks beat the Red Wings back in the early 70s, and where did you go after the season was over early? Down to the link. Second one from the right is Mickey Redmond. Now, the rest of that crew, I'll tell you what, it looks like Buddy Holly on the right.
Buddy Holly on the right, that is Don Luce.
Who dressed him before the foursome went out? That is Nick Libet to the far left.
Let's just say we weren't big on fashion. Timmy Ecclestone next to Nick Libet. That had to be taken, I'm guessing I'd say about 1973, 1974. So we're talking 15, 16 years ago. And my golf game isn't any better today, I'm going to tell you. The old clock goes to 42 for the Red Wings and 4 for the Hawks. Draws a roar. Yes. They do get that thing teed up to 20 minutes, and we're ready to get rolling here. I don't know where that came out of the hockey news, that picture, didn't it?
Yep.
Well, don't they ever throw old pitchers away?
Well, I guess not.
About 10
that one faded a little
bit. I had 10 pounds of sideburns in that picture. Down in the room the other night, Dave Barr said, man, what a pair of pork chops those were.
Here's a steal by Sean Burr across the line. Shoots just wide. Chevrier didn't give him much room coming out to cut down that angle. The Red Wings get an early opportunity. They're looking for something quickly. Here's Manson now for the Hawks. Plays it ahead. Stepping at the side of the net. Leaves it there for Doug Huda. Huda moves it now to Norwood up the middle. Burr couldn't control it. Doug Wilson drives it right back in behind Steffen. Sean Burr up the left side, rolls it into the Chicago zone. Trent Yawney plays it back to the opposite side of the Chicago zone. Wayne Sutter lifting it over everyone's head to center ice.
You're going to see a lot of that stuff for 20 minutes unless the Red Wings can start cracking them offensively.
Wayne Sutter in the corner now. Moves it in behind Steffen. Taken in the far corner by Burr. He'll just backhand it. And that'll be an icing call. Down to touch up first will be Bob Murray. And the faceoff all the way back at the other end of the ice. There you see the back pocket of Wings physical therapist Jim Pengelly with all the scissors and other gadgets that he needs to tape up the guys and cut the tape off, whatever he's got to do.
Well, this building rather quiet right now. I didn't expect to see the Red Wings down by a couple in their own building.
Face off to the right of Steffen now, deep in the Detroit zone, following the icing. Oates wins the draw from Savard, but Larmer takes it away, tried to get it to Gilbert. Ray Gilbert rolled it just wide of Steffen. Doug Wilson holds it, and his shot bounced off of Delorme and just went wide of the Detroit net. Zombo clears it for Klima. Ahead now, it was missed by Manson. Oates sends it toward the net. He is checked, and Chevrier picks up the loose puck and hangs on to it. 19,603. Another sellout here at the Joe Louis Arena for Game 2 of this series. Game 3, of course, in Chicago Saturday night. Game 4 in Chicago on Sunday. We'll have both of those games beginning at 8:30. And don't forget, Saturday night at 8, we will have the Red Wing Yearbook with Ray Lane. And, of course, the Wings hoping that they can take advantage of the fact that the Hawks weren't all that effective on home ice this year, winning just 16. Their lowest total in 30 years at Chicago Stadium. Jason going back after it. There's no icing here. Plays it back up the boards. It's tipped by O'Connell. Bouncing puck. Klima able to get control. Ahead for Oates. Held in by Manson. Manson a shot. Blocked. Loose puck. Went right in on Steffen before he cleared it away. It comes to Sanipass. Cutting in. Backhand shot. Steffen a big save there. And Klima trying to get something going out of his own end. And the puck rolled off the end of his stick. Dirk Graham drives it right back in. Wide of the Detroit net. Imagine we'll see a much shorter bench in the third period here, Mick, on the part of Demers. We'll see a lot of the Oates line and Yzerman's line. The crowd starting to chant, "Let's go Wings." Here is centering pass, and it's picked off by Trent Yawney. Yawney gave it away there to Barr. Barr, oh, he's taken down a penalty to Greg Gilbert. Here's the first opportunity for the Red Wings. Just 2 minutes and 32 seconds into the third. A power play for the Wings when we return.
Greg Gilbert was beaten to the outside. He knew it, and he really hog-tied Davy Barr. Got a foot around Barr's leg and dragged him down by the arm. And holding the call. Manson, a bad play for him right there. He's got all the time in the world, all the room in the world, and he raises it straight up into the penalty box and keeps the face-off right there deep in the Chicago zone. 5 seconds ticking off the penalty.
There you see an important stat. The Wings 1 for 6 on the power play, although they've had good pressure, good chances. Chevrier has stoned them. And the Hawks also have scored once while the Wings have the man advantage. And that man so far the difference. About 29 of 31 Red Wing shots to this point of the game. Yzerman and Hudson again deep in the Chicago zone. Yzerman got it to the boards, picks it up there. That pass hit the back of the net. Now Dirk Graham didn't get it by Norwood. It goes back for Yzerman. To Norwood. Knocked away by Graham. Gallant hustles back to hold it in. Moves it to Oates. Lets the shot go. Deflected over the top of Chevrier's net. Chevrier plays it up the boards. Held in by Oates. Moves it quickly to Norwood. Back to Oates. Norwood again at the left point.
Got to be somebody open if they're going to challenge those points that tightly. They have to have a mismatch in front. And who's going to go? Gallant?
Yes.
He and Manson were mixing it up. And I think it's just going to be Gallant by himself, isn't it, or no? Manson going to go too? Yes. Last check I saw was a cross check by Gallant. See, if those guys, Chicago, are going to stay on top of the Red Wing point men as much as they are with as little room as they're giving them, there's got to be a lot of room behind those two guys for the other 3 Red Wings to get a mismatch with only 2 Hawks back there. They've got to take advantage of that.
All right. Don't forget, we've got more exciting Detroit Pistons basketball coming up. We'll have Piston Yearbook tomorrow starting at 8 o'clock, and then live from Chicago Stadium where we will have the next 2 hockey telecasts. It'll be the Pistons against the Bulls at 8:30, and then Monday night right here on TV 50 from the Capitol Center, Landover, Maryland, the Wings and the Bullets live at 7:30. All right here on WKBD TV 50, your place for sports. Oates drives it in. Burr along the board. Had it and lost it. Good job by Norwood to hold it in. Now Burr again moves it along the board. Bob Murray gets there. Norwood again holds it in. Now it's deflected away by Dirk Graham. Drops it back for Burr. He missed it. Bob Murray will kill some time with it. Backhands it into the Detroit zone. 50 seconds left in Gilbert's penalty. Pass goes to Yzerman. Quickly for Burr. Sends it into the corner for Barr. He's tied up by Doug Wilson. Burr went crashing into the corner. Barr trying to kick it loose. Doug Wilson gets it loose. Larmer, dangerous move, but he comes out with it. He'll skate it back the other way. Larmer into the Detroit zone. Let's go. The shot just wide of Steppen. Barr drops it back, and Oates will get it, but just 15 seconds left in this power play. That has not been one of the better ones for the Wings tonight. Driven in by Oates. Burr with a hit on Hudson. Trent Yawney checked hard by McLean. Yzerman behind the net. Takes it to the corner. Moves it out to Chason. Look out, a steal here. Hudson is going to have the breakaway chance against Steppen. Steppen moved it to the corner as he challenged Hudson. Gilbert collides with Oates. Hudson again. Hit the side of the net. Dirk Graham goes to the corner. Now Oates knocks it down. Clears it ahead to Paul McLean, and the Wings dodge a bullet there. 5 minutes gone by in the third, and the Wings still trail by a pair. Here comes Denny Savard now. He'll lift it into the Red Wing zone. O'Connell plays it for McLean. He's checked by Dwayne Sutter. McLean, though, able to move it to Chason. Chason drives it across in behind Chevrier. Savard got it past Klima, and it's taken now by Larmer. Rips it in wide of Steppen. Dwayne Sutter trying to move in. O'Connell chops it out center ice. Chabot pushes it into the corner to the left of Chevrier. Savard trying to get some skating room, moves it to Larmer. Hawks going for a change. That bounced right out in front of Steppen. And Zambo moves it quickly for Klima. Wink wide for Barr. He'll dump it in. Steve Conroy circling his own net. Had his pocket picked by Chabot. John Chabot wheels it back. Couldn't get it past Creighton, however. They battle for it center ice. Klima moves it up the right side for Barr. Barr fighting off a check. Klima was hooked, couldn't get a shot away, and back comes Santa pass for Chicago. Santa pass across the Detroit line. Left it there for Presley. His shot didn't get through, and the Wings able to clear. Gilbert Delorme in his own zone. 6.5 minutes have gone by here in the third. Chabot's pass is blocked. Zambo back to cover up. Now it goes to Burr on the outlet. Paul McLean on the right side. Into the zone. Checked by Doug Wilson. Hawks able to clear. Gilbert with a hit on McLean. Here comes Yzerman. Lets the shot go. Oh, he hit the post.
He scored. That's in. That is a goal without question.
Okay.
That's in the net. Right on the ice. The hat trick by Yzerman. He doesn't know it's in yet. Van Helleman's going to the penalty bench. And Yzerman says yes or no. Andy shakes his head. And it's a hat trick in a 4-3 hockey game. That thing came out like it hit the goalpost, but it hit that soft padding just inside the post and comes straight back out. Now the argument's on. Andy's going to talk to Finn. Finn's shaking his head.
Well, we've seen this happen before. There's a little bit of an area between the pad and the post. Now, the goal judge is part of a crew from the Minnesota North Stars. The off-ice officials during the playoffs are not the home team's regular crew. They are a crew from another team. The Detroit off-ice officials will be in Minnesota for that series against St. Louis. So right now the goal judge is picking up the headset down there. And I believe he'll be in direct communication with Van Helleman.
Andy's going to put the headset on. He'll take the headgear off and put the headset on. And he's going to get the explanation from the goal judge. And he'll be going to center ice. It's a 4-3 game.
I don't know if we can get a close-up.
Won't take long.
Mick, if we can get a close-up of just inside the post along the ice there, the pad that goes along the bottom of the net.
What do we got? Are they calling it off?
No, maybe. No, I guess he couldn't hear him on the headset.
Yeah, maybe not. You're going to open that door. It's that important. And Andy said, look, boys, just stay back and let me do my job here. Get an explanation. And he's going to go right in there and talk to that young man. Well, you got to believe, unless he made a mistake by putting it on, And that's, you can only tell him either he made a mistake or where he thinks it hit the inside of the net. One of two things. It was very quick. Boom.
It is a goal. Yzerman, the hat trick. That's 7:01 of the third period. And I'll tell you, the one Chicago player who knew it was in and didn't argue at all, and that was Chevrier. And I'll bet that he can tell from the sound it makes. It didn't make a loud clink.
No, you didn't hear the clink. You see, there's a padding on the inside of that goalpost. Don McAdam just came back from the dressing room. I'm sure he was trying to get a look at a replay, and he's missed it. Let's have a good look at it here. Yzerman's right in line with Chevrier. Watch that thing. There it is.
Yes.
No question about it.
No
question about it. Just inside the post, over the line. Here's the feed from McLean at center ice. Yzerman one-on-one with a Hawk defenseman, McGill, and there's no question that it was in the net. And up comes the subject. Will they ever have instant replay in hockey?
McLean and Huda draw the assist. Yzerman's third of the night, third of the series, and the game is on. 12:59 to go. 4-3 in favor of the Hawks. Hudson for Chicago. Now remember the save that Steffen made on Hudson just a few moments ago. Here's Graham with a chance, and it went off his stick. Norwood trying to play it up the boards. It comes loose. Graham slapping at it. So does Norwood. It comes back to center ice. Klima has it, but a good play by Wilson to recover as Klima almost able to squeeze up that left wing side. Dirk Graham across the line. Checked by Huda. The sticks come up there. Klima's away. He's got Barr on the right side. He's got Oates with him. Oates, good play. Back to Klima. Tried to redirect it. Bob Murray now looking to come out. Wings have got the Hawks reeling a little bit here. Savard across the line. He is checked. Oates is stripped to the pockets underneath the Chicago player. And he gets a whistle. Exactly 12 minutes to go in the third. An Yzerman goal again has cut it to 4-3 Chicago. Steve Yzerman's first playoff hat trick and the 12th in Red Wing history. Peter Klima had a couple last year.
Keep your eye on the bottom right-hand corner of the net and watch inside. See that white stuff bulge?
Yep.
No question about it.
Here's Bob Murray now. Plays it up the boards. It rolls out center ice. Chason has it there for O'Connell. He'll drive it back in behind Chevrier.
The giveaway.
Gallant waiting there. He's battling with Creighton. Gallant and Manson have served their 2-minute roughing penalties. Chason slapped it, but it's intercepted by Bob Murray. His pass out of the reach of Creighton. O'Connell, that hit the skate of the linesman. And it's sent back in off the board. Steffen able to poke it to the corner. He got tied up with Presley. Steffen without his goal stick. Gallant, though, able to clear to Yzerman. He's got Torrey Robertson. Yzerman taken down. Goes to Robertson. Robertson holds up. Trying to send it in front. It's picked up by Doug Wilson. Oh! Wow. Gallant.
He got slapped with a stick.
Yes. Did he ever get away with it? Dwayne Sutter. He's checked along the boards by Zombo. It's really heating up now here at the Joe Louis Arena as it comes to Doug Wilson. A shot just wide of Steffen. Penalty coming. It'll be against Detroit.
Steffen give it to somebody. I didn't see it.
Robertson and Creighton now start to go at it. And it looks like it'll be a power play for the Hawks. 4-3 Chicago when we return.
Well, a couple of things happened on this whole exchange. Yzerman dumped by Manson. That's let go. Robertson follows through, and then Gallant got his stick up on Doug Wilson, clipped him. No blood drawn and no call there either. Then Steffen slashes Sutter and gets a 2-minute penalty.
Craig Steffen, 2 minutes for charging.
Charging he got.
Well, I think that's it's a slash. Andy Van Hellemond motioning. Hard for a goaltender to get a charge.
Yeah, right.
There it is right there. Gallant.
I'm not sure, you know what, I'm not sure if it got him in the face there. It got him in the shoulder, at least with the handle. And then, see, there's the stick up there. Charging. It doesn't make any difference. The Wings are short-handed.
Van Helleman indicated it was a slash. So the Blackhawks, power play number 6. They have scored 2 goals already tonight with a man advantage, and not a necessary penalty, and certainly not a very timely one. This will stop the Wings' momentum and give the Hawks a chance to regain a 2-goal lead. Here's Savard at the rim of the circle. Savard out near the blue line. Lets a shot go. Steffen kicked it out with the left pad. Shabbat able to clear. Doug Wilson now for the Hawks. Sends it ahead for Larmer. Larmer drives it across. Got to the line. And it got outside the line. Recovered by Savard. Savard drops it back. Bob Murray cruises in for a shot. Steffen kicked that one out to the left board. Wilson a drive.
Hit the post.
Hit the post to the right of Steffen. Bob Murray again. Steffen again. Kicked that one aside. It comes back to Bob Murray.
Look at the front of that net. Big Creighton.
Creighton now rolls it in front. Deflects out to Wilson. Shovels it to Savard. Back to Wilson. He'll let the shot go. Steffen the save. Deflects it up into the seats. Out of play.
Big crowd hand for Greg Steffen. 4 blasts. One of Wilson's hit the top of the goalpost, right beneath the bar. Here's the last one. Up into the seats. 1:05 to go. Steffen's penalty.
Reminder, you're watching this Red Wing playoff action on WKBD TV 50, your place for sports.
Boy, Zombo really, excuse me, Dave, Zombo really giving a job to Creighton in front of the net. Mind you, Creighton is doing his job, distracting the goaltender and the defenseman. Big body of his. He's hard to move out of there.
Face off to the left of Steffen coming up deep in the Detroit zone. Shabbat and Creighton. Shabbat wins the draw. Zombo drives it around. It comes out center ice, blocked by Wilson. And the play offside. Yzerman had gotten behind Wilson and
just about got away.
Yep. Well, we've hit the 10 o'clock hour. Remind our viewers here that we will have a special edition of the TV 50 10 o'clock news immediately following this telecast. Larmer with 43 goals to lead the Hawks in that department this year, and 19 of them on the power play. There you see the 10 o'clock news, a good hour ahead. That'll be immediately following this telecast. And don't forget, Monday, the 10 o'clock news goes to an expanded 1 hour Monday through Friday. Norwood slaps it back to the Chicago line. Doug Wilson moves it there now to Savard. Savard spins back. 45 seconds left in the Steffen penalty being served by Gerard Gallant. Back to Larmer. Sends it toward the net. Creighton tries to send it across.
Wow.
He had it on his backhand. Now Zombo.
Good job there by Zombo. He's hooked a bit. Look at this.
He's got to move it. Should have taken the hand pass there, but a good job by Norwood. Norwood will send it back the other way. Still without a stick. Now it's Shabbat.
It's like a 5-on-3 out there. Oh, boy.
Here comes Larmer. Fakes the shot. Now he'll let it go. And
they get a break. What a bad choice by Steve Larmer. Wow. Bad choice, and he knows it too. Slaps the stick on the ice. They got to start moving that puck around. Guy without a hockey player without a stick is like a duck without feathers, man. Not much you can do except stand around out there and try to get in the road.
.17 seconds left in Steffen's penalty. It concerns Jacques Demers. Now, last night it was all Oates, Klima, Barr. Tonight it's all Yzerman in the goal-scoring department. Wings trail 4-3. That's assistant coach Jacques Martin that's over talking with Larmer, saying, all right, you made a bad decision. Just get ready to get back out there for the next shift. No time now to hang your head. Yzerman won the draw. Connell able to clear it. Chevrier back to stop it. 10 seconds left in the Steffen penalty. Here comes Manson now, leading the attack ahead for Dirk Graham. Graham, the last man back there, but he moved it ahead to Presley. Presley across the line with a shot that was blocked. Chason goes down. It's cleared off the boards, held in by Trent Yawney. Penalty to Steppen is over. Gallant is out on the ice. But here's Presley behind the net. He's trying to get it out in front. It was blocked. Chason clears it off the boards, and it went right between Manson and Yawney. Yawney drives it around the Detroit zone, and it got by Chason on the near boards. Rolls all the way back behind Chevrier. Manson, giveaway. Oh, Klima missed it. Wow. He was in stone cold alone if he intercepts that pass.
Manson's going to the bench, and Keenan's looking at him like, what was that?
Oops, he's got Klima. Oh, and he couldn't handle that one cleanly. He was in behind Bob Murray. Held in by Huda. Boy, did that hop over Klima's stick?
He got a piece of it, and then it jumped.
Wilson to Greg Gilbert. Ahead now for Savard. It's out of his reach. Norwood couldn't get it by Larmer. Huda plays it back around. Klima's there. He gets it to Oates. Oates, Barr, and Norwood. It goes to Barr on the right wing side. Back for Norwood. Here's Oates. Oh, went just wide. It hit the skate of Savard. Klima will hold it in. Winds up for the shot. Redirected. And Chevrier has plenty of time to see it. Now Savard and Klima fencing at each other.
Tackles all over the ice. Gilbert on Norwood. Murray on Barr. They were tackling guys out there.
Greg Gilbert coming over to challenge Klima. 7:21 to go in the third of the Wings. Pressing to tie the game.
Jock hollering at the guys on the bench, go to the net. Oates right there tried to do it, and Savard was back playing defenseman and got a piece of that one with his skate. And he and Klima mixed it up after the puck was held by Chevrier.
Well, now there's some confusion on the part of the Hawks on the faceoff. Now they're ready. Eiserman wins the draw. Chason toward the net.
Oh,
Chevrier
deflected.
save.
Deflected by McLean. And it hit him. And the Hawks will make changes there.
And I was looking at that setup on the last faceoff there. That was exactly the setup that we had back in October in overtime. There was nobody behind the faceoff man for the Hawks.
Right.
And in that situation, Eiserman won a draw with 6 seconds to go in overtime.
Against Troy Murray.
And then he danced around him. Right, it was Murray.
Yeah.
Now this time, the Hawks are going to put a man between the faceoff dot and the goaltender. It'll be Manson. Eiserman and Hudson. Hudson wins it. And Manson starts it back for the Hawks. Look out, a steal here by Gallant. Lets the shot go. Misfired on it. Chevrier still had to make the save. Well, you heard Demers as we came back from the commercial break saying, go to the net. And the boys are going to the net right now.
Well, they're just gang checking. Manson coughs it up. McLean was on him. Eiserman was on him. And Gallant, that thing flubbed. Look at it. Knuckleball softly into Chevrier, and he just hung on for dear life.
Gerard Gallant with an assist tonight to get his first point of the playoffs. 39 goals, a career high for the man they call Spud from Prince Edward Island. He was looking to get that 40th. Here is Gallant now for Eiserman. Chevrier the save. That was a more dangerous chance than it looked like it was going to be. Exactly 7 minutes to go in the third, and the Wings trail by 1. Face off to the left of Chevrier. May have seen the blood trickling down the nose of Greg Gilbert. Eiserman won the draw cleanly, but it went past O'Connell. Sends it across to Chason. He'll lift it back into the Chicago zone. Manson works it ahead now for Graham. Dirk Graham drives it in from center ice. Steppen had to make a save. O'Connell is there. Plays it ahead. Deflected by Adam Creighton. Back to Manson. Plays it back to the Detroit line. Chason has it there. Center ice now for Gallant. Gallant across the line, hooked by Creighton. That allowed Manson to clear. Chason going back after it. Center ice, it deflected off the stick of Yzerman. It's right back into the Detroit zone. Here comes Presley. Lets a long one go. Steffen stopped that. Chason goes to Gallant. Quick pass now to Yzerman. Good job to drag it ahead. He's got Barr heading for the net. Oh, Yzerman's loose. Shoots. And a save by Chevrier.
Chevrier.
What a move by the captain bidding for number 4.
Boy, oh boy. If he handles it cleanly there, it's a 2-on-1. Who's back? Trent Yanni. Tries to play the body and not the puck. Yzerman doesn't get a great shot here, but enough of one that could have gone in. He didn't have anywhere really to go with it. He was really chipping at it as it was bouncing, and he had just gotten untangled from Yanni. See him got the stick between Yzerman's legs. He thinks that's enough. But he goes down. Yzerman kicks it up, pulls it back to the forehand. Barr interferes for him. A good look at it from behind Alain Chevrier. 5:59 left in regulation. 4-3 Hawks.
Oates and Savard now on this face-off. Klima directly behind Oates looking for that draw. Let's see now. The linesman Finn gets him situated. It goes toward the net. Chevrier just steers it aside for Manson. Manson's the guy the Wings want to pressure. He has a tendency to give it away. Right here it's Savard. Sends it in wide of Steffen. Zambo. Sends it ahead for Oates. Manson almost stumbled there. Here comes Chevrier out of the net to play it. Oates was checked there, and Savard. Savard gets it back now. Sends it across. Chance here for Sutter. The shot never got through. Now behind the net. Taken away by Zambo. Delorme able to play it ahead out of the reach of Dave Barr. It's back into the Red Wing zone. Zambo has it there. Lead pass for Oates. Sends it in behind Chevrier. Coming down on 5 minutes left in regulation, but the Wings need a goal to tie this up. Now Larmer able to play it off the boards. This will be icing. Give the Wings a face-off deep in the Chicago zone with 4:57 remaining in the third. Let's go downstairs to Ray Lane.
Okay, let's take a deep breath right now and check the out-of-town scores for you. Minnesota still clinging to that 3-2 lead over the Blues third period. Boston hanging on to that 4-3 lead in the third. Philadelphia and Washington all knotted up at 2-2 third period for you. New York Rangers having problems again against Pittsburgh, 6-2 midway through the third period. And just a few miles up north from here at the Palace, Pistons won at 115-108. That ties a club record for the Pistons for most wins with 54 back upstairs.
Wow. Take a look at Peter Klima getting a well-deserved rest on the bench. You look at the shot that he takes there from Manson. A little, how do you do? Yzerman wins the draw from Hudson. It goes to O'Connell. Shot deflects between the circles. Picked up by Dirk Graham. He's able to clear it. O'Connell. Gallant deflects it. He'll get it back now. Gallant checked from behind by Hudson. Gilbert sends it in wide of Steffen. Hudson and Gallant having words. They may have more than that. They're both going to go now.
Oh, watch out. They'll start sticking each other.
Graham pointing at Gallant saying he did it first. They'll both go at 15:28 of the third period. – 4-3 favor of the Hawks. Back after this.
Hudson and Gallant both off with coincidental minor penalties.
Each 2 minutes for slashing and 15:28.
Lynch
Chicago's Mike
making the
Hudson,
call here over the PA.
Detroit's Gerard Gallant, 2-minute minors.
So there'll still be 5 skaters aside. 4:32 in regulation. Hawks by a goal.
They jam up. It comes to Dirk Graham. A shot hit Steffen right in the chest. He's lost his stick. They're trying to get it back to him. Zambo with the puck behind the net, bangs it hard off the glass, and he got it by Manson. Steffen able to get the goal stick back. Dirk Graham moves it to Creighton. He'll just dump it in wide of Steffen. Now Zambo has it for Peter Klima. Klima's pass, he was trying to find Yzerman. That was shut down by Larmer. Steffen behind the net, leaves it there for Zambo. The Hawks passive forechecking. Well, there's a steal, though. Centering pass, Larmer hit the post. He didn't really get all of it either. Looked like they hit the heel of the blade. Wayne Sutter trying to cut in. Goes behind the net. Brings it out in front. Cleared out of there by Yzerman. And McLean sends it back inside the Chicago line. Peter Klima playing out there with Yzerman and McLean with Gallant on the penalty box. Puck squirts loose. It's taken by Oates. Sends it rink wide. He was looking for Klima. Manson played it ahead. It's recovered now by Zambo. 3 minutes, 15 seconds left in regulation time. Pass up the middle, deflected by Oates. He couldn't control it. Manson will just turn and wheel it back the other way. Norwood drops it back for Barr. To the line, held in by Creighton. Sends it back toward the net. Good job by O'Connell to knock it down. Goes up the right side for Barr. Barr across the line, tried to hit Burr with it. Couldn't quite get there. O'Connell. Nice play to get it to Oates across the line for Burr. Sean Burr had it roll off his stick. Sends it to the side of the net. Barr chases it down to the corner. Back for Burr behind the net. Takes a hit from Doug Wilson. Oates with the loose puck. Gets it out in front. Drops it back. Chase on. A drive. Goal!
Bingo! 2:29 to go. Tie ball game.
Great work by Burr and Oates.
You know, I've never seen a game where the puck has bounced so badly for Adam Oates. It's been over his stick, off of him all night long. He mishandles it there. Finally got it to Chason, and Chevrier got about 3/4 of it, but that 25% left was enough to get through Chevrier and into the net to tie the game in a standing ovation. Let's hear him.
Play is back in. Chevrier out of the net. Backhands it up the boards. Dirk Graham got it to the line. Taken now by Hudson. Trying to go wide on Norwood. Centering pass, shot just wide. McLean plays it off the boards, and Yzerman able to clear. 2:05 left in regulation time. 4-4 the score. Game 2. Gallant couldn't get it out of there. Zambo being chased by Dirk Graham. Zambo's pass doesn't get out, but he gets it back. Norwood up the middle. The pass intercepted by Manson. Back comes Savard. Savard trying to dance through the defense. Save, and the rebound swept away by Norwood.
Yzerman's gone.
You gotta be kidding.
What? Now, minute 30. They should leave it as long as they can. Steffen tried, got a couple of seconds out of it.
Dwayne Sutter took a run at Yzerman. It should have been interference. Yzerman retaliated with a tap to the back of the helmet, and Andy Van Hellemond made the call. He made the decision not to call it on Sutter. He had to let Yzerman's go, and he didn't.
Minute 31.
At any time of the game, that's a weak call. Now see if we can see Sutter. He doesn't play the puck. Watch this. He bangs Yzerman right there. He never touched the puck. Yzerman right there. Bang. He does hit him in the back of the head, but that should be a non-call. 1:31 to go, and the Wings will be shorthanded. Timeout has been called here. Boy, with all the stuff that's been going on, that is a tough, tough call by Andy Van Hellemond, who, if anything, Mick, has had a tendency in the last few games we've seen, especially a game at Chicago Stadium not too long ago, late in the regular season, where he let two guys drop their gloves and square off and fight while the play went on.
Well, see, you're looking for an interference call there on Sutter. Yzerman did not play the puck. was run into by Sutter. And then Yzerman whacked him in the back of the head with a punch.
Well, it's bad enough, it's frustrating enough when referees only see a retaliation and they make the call, but Van Helleman saw the whole play. And, I mean, it's out at center ice. He gave him a hit on the back of the head with a glove on. With all the stuff that's been going on, guys getting smacked and face washes and everything else. And on top of it being Yzerman, I don't think that players should get special treatment for who they are, but certainly he's not a guy that goes out of his way looking for it. But the pressure's on now. The Hawks have the man advantage with only a minute and a half left in regulation. If they don't score in the next minute 25, the penalty continues on into overtime, of course. Larmer holds it in. Now it's slapped at by Shabbat.
Good job by Shabbat.
Creighton sends it across now for Doug Wilson. Back for Creighton. It's behind him. Now he gets control. Rolled it into the Detroit zone. Shabbat backhands it, but it's hit by Creighton in front. Save Steffen.
Oh, boy.
Sweeps the rebound to the board.
Look at this. Look at this. Oh, they get a bad hawk somehow there.
Less than a minute to go now in the third period. 4-4 the score. Power play for the Hawks. Savard to the corner. Savard.
They're looking for the isolation back in the corner to Creighton.
It goes to Doug Wilson. Blasts it. Loose puck. Shabbat will clear. 35 seconds left now in regulation. Wilson from center ice. He'll shoot it in. Around that glass. Higgins.
Oh,
good job. Hawks held it in.
Sure did.
It goes now to Larmer. 20 seconds in regulation. Larmer fakes it to the point. He holds onto it. Now they look for that isolation
play.
play.
Have it.
Goes in deep for Graham. Back to Larmer. Out to the line, Manson. Takes the shot wide of the net. Higgins will clear.
Overtime. And we'll have a full 15-minute break. There's no changing ends like they do in the regular season. We get our first extra innings here in the 88-89 playoffs. As both teams adjourn to the dressing room, the Hawks, a disappointed bunch, came into the third period ahead by a couple of goals. And goals by Yzerman, a disputed goal by some of the Hawks. But no question on a replay that it was a goal. Made it 4-3 early in the period. And then Chason, with less than 3 minutes to go in the period, tied the hockey game at 4. Oates getting an assist. And we'll tee everything up here, take a break right now, and be back with our overtime intermission after this.
Back live at the Joe Louis Arena, and for the first time in this year's playoffs, we are going to have overtime for the Detroit Red Wings. A couple of overtime games last night. Brett Hull scored for the Blues. Paul Reinhart scored for Vancouver. And of course, Mick, you think back a couple of years ago, the overtime game between these two clubs in Game 3 at Chicago Stadium. A shot by now assistant coach, former defenseman Dave Lewis, that deflected in off the body of Sean Burr and made that series 3-zip. And again, we talk about the important games in a series, and they all get more important as you go along. But the next goal right here, it's either a 2-0 lead for the Wings. Hawks would have to win 4 out of 5, or it's 1-1, goes to best out of 5, and Chicago has the home ice.
You know, the only thing I can say about that stuff, isn't that what hockey's supposed to be all about? Playoff hockey. It's great for the fans. I know it's not too great for the coaches involved, but that's what NHL hockey about at this level. That's what it's all about, David, going into overtime. But, you know, the key there in that third period, obviously, the Hawks thought they had this thing locked up in a sense. There's never a lock. We all know that. But, you know, they tried to put the checking blanket on. I think the Yzerman goal was, you know, it's been a game of funny breaks and bounces. The puck has been bouncing crazily tonight. It wasn't a real set play of any sorts. Yzerman, it was a scramble at center ice. Just took the puck over there on the right side, and then boom, it was in the net. But, you know, you just keep pounding away. We talked about it starting the third period. They kept to keep hammering it at Chevrier. Now, mind you, they had 31 shots the last time I looked. They ended up with 37-34 because Detroit took some penalties, and the Hawks had some great scoring chances. And Steffen's come up big in the game, too. But, you know, this is what it's all about. You go down to 2-0 to win in Chicago. Yeah, it turns the whole thing around. And for the Hawks, if they come out of here 1-1, they got to feel we're in the driver's seat, and all we can do is win at home. We win the series.
Let's take a look at the Steve Yzerman goal that was disputed at the time. I didn't think it was in at the time the way it came out, but we've seen this happen in this building before. Just watch the pad along the ice, bottom right corner of your screen. Right there. That puck has to entirely cross the goal line to hit the back of the net.
See,
there.
Normally on a play like that, when a puck goes in a net like that, that thing will go around the back. But the thing about it was, it had to be an absolute perfect angle. And this happens. I mean, you're talking about hitting baseballs with round bats and round balls. You got round goalposts, a round puck, and that thing had to be at exactly a 90-degree angle, perfect, to go in that net and come right back out as if it had hit the goalpost. There wasn't any question about the call. It's impossible for everybody to see that. The goal judge obviously made a perfect call on the play, and Van Helleman's linesman agreed with it, and that was it. But Yzerman made a perfect shot. Lost in all of that's the fact that he got his third goal of the game, the hat trick, his first playoff hat trick ever. And, I mean, we talked about Oatsline and Bar and Klima. All of a sudden, Yzerman comes to life, and away we go. But that was a big one. It got the Red Wings within striking distance with that one good shot. And on this one, we're going to have a look. I believe we are anyway.
Yes.
Steve Chason finally kicks it up through Chevrier. Got a piece of it, but I can't believe how much the puck has bounced tonight for Adam Oates. I mean, he had a puck jump over his stick back at the other end, and Presley jumped on it, scored a shorthanded goal, and everybody's wondering what's the matter with Oates. I mean, he's trying as hard tonight as he did last night when he had 3 assists. Sometimes the puck just doesn't bounce for you, and the more you try, the harder you try, the worse it seems to get. And on this play coming up where Chason gets the goal, Oates had the puck beside the net. He tried to draw it out in front, and as you'll see right here, he miscued it again. It jumped over his stick. And at that point, Oates has got to be saying, what the heck is going on here? And there you have it. The Hawks, I'm not sure whether they meant to have the people out on the ice. They did. They had Presley out there with Creighton and Sanapass, who's a rookie. I don't know if you can blame it on them or not, but they were out there when it happened, and the Wings just kind of kept throwing it in, throwing it in, throwing it in. About the 8-minute mark of the period, 8 minutes to go, I should say, in the period, they just kept forechecking the Hawks, especially Manson at the blue line, coming up with the puck, dumping it in and chasing it, and finally it paid off. So I'm excited now. We're going to OT, and that's what it's all about, Dave.
Yes, we're in the intermission between the third period and the overtime. A full 20 minutes will go up on the clock, and when we start the overtime, 29 seconds still remaining in Steve Yzerman's penalty. Back with more in our overtime intermission after this.
You know, behind the scenes, there are gentlemen who have to set up press conferences after every one of these games. And one such gentleman is the public relations director of the Chicago Blackhawks, Jim DeMaria. Jim, you were with the Red Wing, Bill Jameson, PR director, coming down here, getting all set, thinking maybe things would stay at 4-3. Didn't see that last goal.
Well, Billy tapped me on the shoulder. He said, Jim, I'm on the way down. I says, okay, Billy, I'll come down with you. You know, we'll get everything all set up. And as soon as we got down here, unfortunately, I went into the coach's office and watched the rest of the game on TV, and we saw Chason's goal go in. So hopefully, with 29 seconds left on the penalty to Yzerman, we can come out and get a quick one here and end this thing.
After the Chason goal, and as a result, a penalty comes up to Steve Yzerman. Mickey and Dave talked about it, and here's the penalty once again that is called on Steve. A little bit of a retaliation move. As you watch him come up on it, he goes to the box for 2 minutes, which means that he has 29 seconds left on that penalty to serve in the overtime period when we begin. Talking about the Chicago Blackhawks, talking about a new coach this season, Mike Keenan. Easy man, tough man to work for.
Personally, for me, he's been a great guy to work with. In fact, our entire coaching staff, Mike and Jacques and EJ, have been a godsend as far as I'm concerned. Bob Murdoch was great last year, and Mike Keenan has been great this year. You know, he came over here with a reputation from Philadelphia of being a tough guy to deal with. But anything I've ever asked Mike or any of the coaches to do, they've been very, very cooperative. So I have no complaints whatsoever.
When you take a look at your club and trades that you made from December on, what has it done for this team?
Well, the big trade was the Alan Chevrier trade, of course. He came and played extremely well, and the club seemed to gel at the same time. We cut down our shots against and our goals against incredibly as soon as we got Chevrier. Adam Creighton, of course, has stepped in and has done a great job for us, especially against the Wings. In the season series, I think he had 5 or 6 goals against Detroit, and he's got a couple already in the first 2 games here. Greg Gilbert's a guy that we needed to go in the corners in terms of our left wing position. We needed a guy that could go in and fight for the puck. He's done a good job for us in the short time he's been here. And Steve Conroy and Bob Basson, also from the Islanders, have been very good and steady players for us. So I think all around it's helped our hockey club.
Let's go back to Chevrier for just a second. Is this one of his outstanding games?
Well, the first period, I mean, Detroit could have easily scored 5 goals in the first period if it wasn't for Chevrier, and no question about it. He's played excellent. He played very well last night as well, so he's given us 2 good, steady, strong games in his first 2 playoff games of his entire career, so he's played very well.
The Red Wings, after this game, will move out tomorrow afternoon to Chicago. Can you tell us about your travel plans?
We are chartering out right after tonight's game, and we'll probably arrive back in Chicago probably now 1 o'clock or 2 in the morning, depending on how long the overtime goes. But we're scheduled for a team meeting tomorrow at noon, and in preparation for the games Saturday and Sunday at the stadium.
And what will that home crowd mean to your team?
Well, there's no question it's going to mean an awful lot to us. I mean, they carried us all year long, and they've been behind us through the tough times as well. And hopefully, they'll come out in strong support for us over the weekend. I'm sure they will.
Jim, as an old-time announcer would say, thanks for bailing us out a little bit. We were looking for a player, but you got the great information, you got the answers, and the check is in the mail.
Okay, Ray, thank you.
We get all set now for the start of the overtime period with 29 seconds still on that penalty for Steve Yzerman. But right now, this brief timeout.
For the 48th time in the long history of Detroit Red Wing hockey, they'll be playing playoff overtime here. Detroit, over the 46 overtime games they've had so far in their history, 20 wins, 26 losses on the season with this club, which is probably a little bit more significant. The Red Wings won 3, including a game in this building against Chicago. They lost 1 and tied 12. The Hawks had 2 overtime victories. They lost 3 and tied 12. And, of course, they'll put 20 minutes on the clock. First team that scores wins the game. If nobody scores in 20 minutes, we have another intermission. Another resurface of the ice. Another 20 minutes go up on the clock. So this can go for a while.
Well, you don't want to be nervous when you're going into overtime. There you see that dismal, if I may say it that way, Blackhawk record in the last 15 playoff games. They've only won 1.
And they've lost 10 straight on the road. But they're right on the brink here with a power play for 29 seconds. Normally, we don't talk about a face-off at center ice to start any period as being significant, but if the Wings can win it cleanly back to the blue line, they can kill some time and then dump it down, and you might be able to see 15 to 20 seconds tick off that Yzerman penalty before the Hawks would get back and have any kind of a chance. Mike Keenan looks calm and cool and collected on the outside, but you can bet he's churning on the inside. Steffen is down to our left. Wings moving left to right here in the overtime period. Draw control by Shabbat. If he can kick it up, he does, and he sends it in behind Chevrier. Well, that'll kill some time now on the Yzerman penalty. Doug Wilson sends it ahead for Savard. Savard gets it now to Adam Creighton. Tried to get it back for Savard. Comes back. Wilson a drive. Saves Steffen. Loose puck. Steffen steered it away. Creighton has it in the corner. Creighton brings it out in front. Shot didn't get through. Steffen covers with 5 seconds left in the Yzerman penalty.
Boy, that big Creighton just throws goosebumps into you when he's around the net. And Dougie Wilson with the big blast. Rebound hit Norwood right in the back. And he give it to Larmer in front of the net. It'll take a mugging to get a penalty normally in overtime. Players will be very, very careful. They don't want to be the one to cough it up and be responsible for a goal against them.
Yzerman, you just saw him down at the penalty box door. He's anxious to leap out of there. Just 5 seconds left in the penalty. Wings win this faceoff. They may be able to catch Yzerman out at center ice. The draw tied up by Shabbat. Steffen steers it around. Yzerman is out, but the puck still deep in the Detroit zone. Now it goes to Zombo. Up the middle for Yzerman. He's got Burr with him. Yzerman into the zone. Sends it to the corner. Doug Wilson is there. Checked by Yzerman. Burr able to get a piece of it. It goes back behind Chevrier. Manson moves it quickly to Greg Gilbert. Long pass, it got by Chason. That negates the icing. O'Connell chips it ahead. Chason sends it across, slapped back the other way by Trent Yawney. Hawks going for a change. O'Connell plays it around for Chason. Tried to lift it up, it didn't get through. Burr sends it back for O'Connell. Deflected by Gallant. Center ice. He'll drive it into the Chicago zone. The Oates Bar Klima combination comes out. Creighton had the puck knocked away. Now Santapath drives it in. Steffen has it in the glove. Leaves it now for Huda. Huda bangs it off the glass. They're screaming for a penalty, but there won't be one there. Huda will hold it in. Sends it back in deep, far behind the net. Oh, he turned around and he missed it.
Good team in front, too.
Hawks able to clear. Norwood sends it right back in, wide of Chevrier. First one there, Doug Wilson. We've played 2 minutes of overtime. 4-4 the score. That one goes wide of Steffen. Steffen has to play it. Now in behind the Detroit net to the corner, Larmer. Larmer centers, tipped by Steffen. Manson, though, holds it in. Savard is checked by Norwood. Klima drives it up the boards. Dave Barr checked by Yawney. The puck
not out yet.
Not out of there. Still not out of there. Dwayne Sutter gets control. Here's Savard behind the net, trying to get out in front. And Steffen holds the short side as Doug Huda just flat out tackled Dwayne Sutter.
This building is either going to erupt or it'll go deathly quiet if the Hawks should score. We've played 2:32 of overtime. Hawks have the only shot on goal.
Face off to the left of Steffen. Shabbat and Hudson. Comes loose for Zombo. Up the boards. Shabbat to Burr. He'll clear. Shabbat, Burr, and Torrey Robertson. The trio for the Wings. Out there against Dirk Graham, who has the puck across the line. Graham trying to cut in. Had it stripped off his stick. Now Hudson centers. It'll go back to the right point. Bob McGill will hustle back to hold it in. Lays it back in behind Steffen. Shabbat there to play it up the boards. Conroy checked by Robertson. Hudson comes in. Delorme is there for Detroit. Hudson gets loose, trying to bring it out in front. Loose puck chipped away to the line. Conroy wheels, fires it wide. Steffen a save.
Wow, what a save too.
Zombo gave it away to Conroy. Knocked down by Graham. This will be held in. McGill just wide. Boy, the Hawks pressing here. Shabbat drops it back for Zombo. And the Wings get it around to Burr. He tips it now to Shabbat. Shabbat, a little move. It comes across the line. Robertson fires one in over the top of the net. Gallant holds it in. Wings are on a change. They got nobody in there to help out Gerard Gallant. Here comes Conroy. Plays at center ice. Intercepted by O'Connell. Back up the boards. Blocked by Creighton. He dumps it in on Steffen. Chase on back there. Checked by Presley. O'Connell wheels it around. It deflects. Here comes Yzerman on the move. He's got Paul McLean with him. Yzerman fights off the check. To McLean. Oh, just missed him.
Look out. Here
come the Hawks. 3-on-2 the other way. Presley. The shot saves Steffen. Here's a steal. Presley couldn't move in. It's behind the net. Presley out in front.
Oh.
Save. Rebound.
What a stop there.
Sutter lost it. Center ice, Yzerman. He's got McLean with him. Yzerman. Oh, and it ends up deflected by Manson, and you have to wonder about that decision by Steve Yzerman.
Wow.
When you're hot, but a wind-up slap shot like that, even if he gives it to McLean, he's got to get it back.
Right. Well, I'm sure part of that decision was based on the fact that they just did it 30 seconds before, and it went awry.
Then again, how do you question a guy that's got 65 goals and 3 in one game?
Yeah, what a save to go. We go back to the other end. Steffen made right there on Dwayne Sutter. I mean, point blank, set up by Presley. And here's the Yzerman pass over to McLean before. Just missed by an inch. Man.
Face off to the right of Chevrier. It looks so easy from up here. You see that 2-on-1 and you see all that space.
Well, the key there, Dave, is if you're going to give it to a guy, you got to give it to him early, then give him the option. A lot of times the guy does end up getting it back.
Oates and Savard on the face-off. We've played 4 minutes and 38 seconds of overtime. Draw comes back to the left point. Norwood lets the shot go. He missed the net. Greg Gilbert for the Islanders goes up the middle, does not connect there with Larmer. That should be icing, but no, Steffen had to play it. Norwood took the hit, comes up the board. Gilbert holds it in. Back now, across Savard, just missed the net. Just missed the net on the far side. Oates has it now. He's got the Hawk defense backing up. He's got Klima on the left side. Klima will poke it in deep. Chevrier out of the net. And the Hawks come back the other way, led by Savard. Across the line. Savard fakes, wheels back. Now sends it to the boards. Manson is there. In deep, it's taken away by Huda. Goes to Dave Barr. He'll just flip it back into the Chicago zone. Manson gets there, quickly wheels it around for Santa Pass.
That's right, screaming for too many men on the bench with Chicago. No call.
Manson, still a delayed offside against the Wings. It'll be waved off as it comes to center ice. DeLorme plays it ahead. It's in behind Chevrier. Stops it, plays it back up the boards. DeLorme will get there. Now it's back to the line. Higgins holds it in, fires a shot that hit Torrey Robertson. Burr and Chevrier were... Oh, a penalty to the Hawks, I believe. Penalty to Chicago.
Steffen's gone.
Oh, and then Manson went back and stabbed at Burr again. Extra attacker. Robertson wants to be careful. His teammates have got to get him out of there. Don't even talk about it. Robertson's just got to walk away. Absolutely no reason to stay there because the Wings are going to get the power play. Robertson has got to get out of there.
They are. They're getting him out of there.
My goodness. When you got the power play coming, this is not the time.
And Manson, he's still out there. He's got to be off of there.
And Higgins should get away from Presley. I mean, I don't understand the judgment here. The Wings should just skate away and just take the power play. That's all there is to it. The emotion's running so high out there, you want to get your last 2 cents in. Well, the Hawks had their chance with a minute and a half to go in regulation. They carried over into the overtime. Now the Wings will have a power play in the overtime period. Power play number 8 for the Red Wings. They are 1 for 7 so far. A cross-checking penalty against Manson.
Well, Donnie McAdam was telling me, the assistant coach the other day, working with the power play, he said, you know, maybe we're not 24%, but we've scored a lot of circumstantially very, very big power play goals this year, either tying goals or goals to win it with the extra man. And that in itself is very, very important.
Other than Toronto, the Red Wings have the fewest power play chances of any team in the league. And they normally take more penalties than the opposition. Yanni sends it back for the Hawks. 13:35 left in the first overtime period. A minute 45 now left in the penalty to Dave Manson. Driven in by Oates. Chevrier couldn't stop it. McLean with the skate takes it to the corner. It comes loose. Gallant behind the net. Wheels it out to the left point for Oates. Back along the boards in the corner. Yzerman gets it. Wings have nobody in a scoring position. It goes to Chason. Lets the shot go. Save. Rebound just wide. Yzerman. He hit the goal post. Dirk Graham slaps it out of play.
Good boy.
Hang on to your hats.
McLean did redirect that shot by Chason. And that just missed to the right of Chevrier. See those markings on the wall behind Keenan? That's where he was drawing his play last night with 11 seconds to go, trying to get the right setup deep in the Red Wing zone. He had the old magic marker out. He wrote right on the backboards. Minute 16 to go on the penalty to Manson.
Mick, as I look across a couple of final scores, Pittsburgh takes a 2-0 lead over the Rangers with a 7-4 victory. Philadelphia has tied the series with Washington, winning by a score of 3-2. Montreal takes a 2-0 lead over Hartford with a 3-2 victory. And Boston coming from behind to beat Buffalo 5-3. That series tied at 1, heading back to the Yacht in Buffalo on Saturday. Yzerman and Hudson now ready for the faceoff. They tie it up. It goes to the corner. Hawks Yanni plays it off the glass, bounces along the dasher, and Hudson able to clear it. Back to get it is Norwood. That'll be a 2-line pass with a minute 5 left in the Manson penalty.
Has Dirk Graham ever seen a lot of ice time and played well for Mike Keenan? He's been out there all night long. The Hawks realize what they've got here. If they can pull this one out, they can go home and just have to win their home games to win the series. Everything riding on one good shot.
Well, the Hawks have had a couple of good ones already. The Wings had a 2-on-1, a couple of them actually, but the one where the pass just was out of the reach of McLean. Here's Yzerman now across the line with McLean. He'll drop it for McLean. Lets the shot go deflected into the far corner of the Hawks zone. Here comes Dirk Graham now. Look out, dangerous bouncing puck. McLean, good job to swipe it ahead. It was batted down by Yanni with a glove. Now, why wasn't that a hand pass? Should have been. 35 seconds left in Manson's penalty. Jason, dangerous play. Presley took it away, but he lost it right back to Norwood. Gallant sweeps it into the Chicago zone. Dave Barr gets there first. He's ridden out of the play by Larmer. Bouncing puck right out in front. Cleared by the Hawks. Now here's Presley. Presley across the line. Blasts the shot. Deflects high off the glass. Jason, look out. A steal here by Larmer.
He's hurt.
Larmer. Save. Steffen. And now the whistle blows with Chason down behind the net. 7 seconds left in the Red Wing power play.
Boy, did he get drilled by Presley. Whew. Watch this collision. See, when you go for the puck, you're defenseless. You cannot protect yourself, and Presley jumped up in the air and just creamed him.
Mick, just to continue along on those out-of-town scores, it's Minnesota 3-2 over St. Louis in the third period, and in the second period at the Saddle Dome, Calgary looking to even up that series with Vancouver, leading 2-0. Face off deep in the Detroit zone, so a dangerous spot, even though the Wings have the man advantage. Tim Higgins, who started his career in Chicago, watching from the bench. Sean Bird will take the face-off against Savard. 11:54 left in the first overtime. That ends up in the corner. Zombo has it. Manson set to come out of the box as the Wings get it to center ice. It comes back now for Oates. Drives it in behind Chevrier. Manson is out. Both teams at full strength. Oates knocks it away. Still loose. And cleared by Manson. Delorme drives it right back in. That play offside.
Oates, Klima, and Barr out there with 11:32 to go in the first overtime. Both goaltenders have had to make some big stops here in the overtime. Detroit with only 2 shots, the Hawks with 5.
Wilson back to get it deep in his own zone. Plays it up the left wing side. Greg Gilbert just chips it to center ice. Delorme knocks it down. Taken now by Barr across the line. Barr sends it to the corner. He'll go after it. Wilson stops his progress. Manson works it up the left wing side. Larmer now for Savard. He lost it. Back the other way. Bouncing puck.
Look at that thing.
Oates picks it up now. Makes a little move with it. Manson, though, tied him up along the boards, and the Hawks come away with it. Savard starts it back across center ice into the Detroit zone. Savard peels back at the blue line. His little pass, though, hits somebody's skate. Here comes Klima up the left side.
Got Conroy backing up.
Klima's shot blocked high off the glass behind Chevrier. Hawks whip it around, and now the net bumped off the magnet behind Alain Chevrier. See where they call for this face-off. It will be in the Chicago zone.
Getting a little warm up here now.
Oh, it is.
Don McAdam working with the defense. Jacques Demers with the forwards, and Coley Campbell communicating with Dave Lewis, the other assistant coach, up in the box here.
Burr, Robertson, and Higgins against Hudson, Sutter, and Graham. So both coaches putting out different combinations. Haven't seen a lot of Dwayne Sutter in the game. This is his second shift in the overtime. And I mentioned earlier, he's got the most playoff experience.
And you got to watch out for him because he's a guy that really is an agitator and can get you to take penalties.
O'Connell, look out. Dirk Graham couldn't quite pull it ahead. He kicks it back though for Hudson, and then it was knocked away. It's still loose. Sutter. Shot was blocked by Chason. Sutter again. Sends it behind the net. Hudson tried to get it in front. Blocked by O'Connell. They'll go over against the boards. Burr chops it down. Dirk Graham sends it right through the goal mouth. Sutter a shot. That was deflected wide. Almost came out in front. Good play by Burr to prevent Dirk Graham from getting a shot. Now it's kicked out center ice. Here comes Tim Higgins. Higgins trying to go wide on McGill. Higgins the veteran, but still with a good speed. Big jam up behind the net. Stolen by Yzerman. He battles with Sutter. Oh, look out, Robertson. Boy, he got away with one there, and then McGill with an elbow on Robertson. Here comes Conroy. Van Helleman's already showed that he will call an overtime penalty. We don't want to give him an obvious choice to make. Paul McLean, center ice, had it knocked off of his stick. Presley cuts behind Creighton. Lets a shot go. Step on the save. O'Connell plays it around for McLean. He lost it to Santa Pass. And the centering pass was blocked by Norwood. Up the boards now. Presley sent it back. Picked up. Santa Pass. Tried to send it across for Doug Wilson, who was too well covered. Norwood had to hop over a stick. The Hawks have a man in front. Presley was all alone. Steffen didn't let the pass get through. Yzerman and Manson will get there at the same time.
Tired bodies down there right now. This is when you get in trouble. You stay out too long in a hot building in overtime.
Here comes Yzerman now. Starts it up the ice. Gallant on his left. McLean is on the right. Yzerman, long shot. Chevrier the save. And Santa Pass just looking to clear it. He does. Delorme plays it ahead for McLean. Gives it off now to Oates across the line with Gallant. Oates trying to get it back to Gallant. Hit the skate of Savard, I believe. Wings get it back. Gallant sends it right in on Chevrier. He'll clear it himself.
Look out.
Oh, look out. Here's Larmer and hopped over. Zombo save. Rebound. Oh, and that one went wide.
Holy mackerel.
What a stop by Steffen. Back come the Wings. It goes to Barr. Back to Oates. And it's blocked along the board. But Oates gets it loose to Barr. Out in front. And Klima was too well covered. And back comes Hudson. He'll go wide on Zombo. Drops it for Larmer. Back in front, picked off by Zombo and taken away by Oates.
Man, look at this.
He's got Klima going. Klima couldn't quite pull it off. Here comes Barr. The shot safe. Rebound. Stopped by Chevrier. And the Hawks clear. I don't think I've ever seen this many great scoring chances in an overtime period. Back comes Conroy. Creighton sent it across. Higgins didn't get it by Graham. Oh, a hit by Sutter right in the middle of Burr's back. Boy, it's tough on everybody when you're in overtime.
Mr. Illich up there in his box. He's having a sip of Coke. And oh boy, this is too close for comfort. End to end we go in overtime. We played 12-29. A breakaway for Larmer. And he tried to stuff it short side. A rebound to Doug Wilson was off the back of the net. And then Chevrier at the other end. Save on Barr. Oates alone. And Chevrier again.
You know what? I think when Zombo was going for the bench, he may have been afraid to touch the puck thinking there was going to be too many men on the ice. He was going to the bench. Another player was coming on.
But it looked like, though, he tried to get it, Dave, with his, it skimmed right through his skates. But you could be right. That's the position you're going off and coming on. You get that too many men on the ice call.
The Hawks, we gave you the Detroit record. The Hawks 21-18. Reminder, you're watching this Red Wing playoff action here on WKBD TV 50, your place for sports, as we hit the 11 o'clock hour. 7:31 remaining in the first overtime. 4-4 the score. Conroy back for McGill. Drives it in behind Steffen. Santa pass, held it in for Creighton. They jam up along the boards. It squirts loose along the end boards. Chason plays it ahead for Torrey Robertson. He'll send it across for Higgins. Higgins stays on side of center ice. Loose puck recovered by McGill.
Hit Ronnie Finn right in the middle of the back. They're going to blow the whistle on that. The linesman right in the middle of the back. He was drilled by a shot by Conroy. Or McGill, rather. Just to hear him yell when he got that square in the back, and they have no protection there at all. Gonna have a nice bruise there tomorrow, you can bet.
Now we just gotten word that in the third period, Paul Cavallini scored the only goal, and they are headed to overtime for the second game in a row.
Boy, less than 2 minutes to go too in the game when they scored.
Again, to recap the scoring here for the Red Wings. In the first period, Yzerman's first from Gallant and Norwood. At 6:09, made it 1-0. That was while the teams were both a man short. Then Dirk Graham scored on the power play from Presley at 8:49. Then it was Savard's second of the series at 9:59 from Presley and Wilson. Then at 11:48 on the power play, Yzerman's second of the night, second of the series, tied it at 2 from Oates and Chason. Second period, all Chicago. Creighton is second from Savard and Larmer on the power play at 5:08, and then Presley, an unassisted shorthanded goal at 13:50, made it 4-2 heading into the third. But it was all Detroit scoring in the third period, despite the fact they were outshot 12-6. Yzerman's third of the night, getting the hat trick from McLean and Huda at 7:01, and then at 17:31, Chason, his first from Oates and Burr. So they stopped Yzerman last night. They haven't been able to do it tonight. Of course, the captain hoping that he has one more on his stick. He had a couple of chances here in the overtime. Passed to McLean one time, elected to shoot it the second time.
Anybody excited yet? I'll tell you. This has been, you might call it a wide open overtime in that sense, but no, one mistake and this thing is over, and that's the problem. You get out there too long. If you don't keep those shifts short, you get tired, and when you're tired, you make mistakes.
Here's a giveaway. Gilbert for the Hawks. It's still scrambling in the Detroit zone, but Higgins will clear now. Sends it ahead for Burr. It just hopped over his stick. Now he'll chase it down along the boards, drops it in front. Doug Wilson clears for the Hawks. Back in the corner, Burr sends it back behind the Chicago net. Played up the boards. Paul McLean couldn't block it. Wings with a line changes. Chason drives it behind Chevrier up the boards. Gallant gets there. Slapped it back into the corner. McLean for Yzerman behind the net. Little move there on Savard. Tried to dump it in front.
Ooh, got it again.
Yzerman goes to the corner.
To this crowd on the edge of their seats.
And it's stripped away by Doug Wilson. Recovered by Larmer. Larmer across center ice. Drives one right into the glove of Steffen. Hawks going for a line change now. Less than 6 minutes remaining in the first overtime. Paul McLean's pass finds its way through to Chason. Chason, a 60-foot bullet deflected by Chevrier high off the glass. Loose puck, and Chason trying to prevent the Hawks from breaking down. It comes across the line. O'Connell and Hudson in the corner. Back to get it, Chason. Rips it up the boards, bounces out to center ice. Bob Murray gets back there. McLean picked it off, but then gave it right back to Bob Murray. Center ice now for Dirk Graham. Sends it in wide. Here comes Sutter with a chance. He scores! They work the play right off the corner boards. And Dwayne Sutter, Mick, you talked about him, and he gets the overtime game winner. I watched the Hawks work on this for about 5 minutes in practice yesterday morning, just banging it off the boards with one man going wide, and the Hawks have tied the series on the overtime goal by Dwayne Sutter.
Boy, he drilled it just about the same place that Yzerman scored his goal. And a happy bunch of Hawks. Obviously, they'll go home with this series tied at 1. 14:36, the time of the goal.
Assistant number 33.
So Dwayne Sutter, who does not play a whole lot during regulation, is the star for the Hawks as he gets the winning goal here in the first overtime. And we'll be back to wrap it up. Now, I guess we won't wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up right here before we go away, being in overtime. Our Budweiser player of the game is not Dwayne Sutter, though. Steve Yzerman must be the player with 3 goals and coming into the third period with 9 shots on goal. He is our player of the game without question. He just didn't have one more in the overtime. It's Sutter who gets it. And we'll adjourn to Chicago Stadium Saturday night, 8:30.
And we'll take a look at the winning goal one more time. Dirk Graham is the one that plays it off the boards. I couldn't see who the left defenseman was there that looked like he turned the wrong way. It was Chason. Take a look at it again. You see Chason had turned to the inside. He couldn't see Sutter coming. Sutter just perfectly, actually that one under the right pad of Stepan. I thought it beat him to the outside. But the overtime goal by Sutter ties the series at 1. For our producer, Toby Cunningham, for Ray Lane downstairs, and for Mickey Redman, I'm Dave Strader saying so long. Don't forget, stay right here. TV 50, 10 o'clock news special edition is next.
Red Wing Hockey. Has been brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Jeep. There's a feeling you can get only in a Jeep. By Little Caesars, where you always get 2 great pizzas at one low price with 200 Metro locations to serve you. By your neighborhood independent auto value store. And by the Michigan Lottery. Somebody's going to win. Why not you?